When you're in a pinch and need a meal fast, turn to your local Super One Foods. Whether it be wings and dip for watching the big game, or simply a delicious, healthy meal that's sure to satisfy even the picky eater in your family, we have you covered with convenient grab-and-go food options, all at the affordable prices you've come to expect. So leave the cooking to us and stop by your neighborhood Super One Foods, serving you lower prices and better choices.
With me today, we're gonna have a good time. You've convinced me. I'm ready to switch my account. Oh my gosh! Specific answer. They're learning quick. Can we Google it? Whatever. Okay. He's a quick study.
There's so many words I want to say. Be careful. It is a love story.
You bet it is.
Fair.
I wasn't done.
Ask the questions that you think are silly. Thank you for joining. Bye.
Hanging out and enjoying the outdoors.
So come join us at the University of Wisconsin-Superior, where every day is an opportunity to learn, grow, and make your mark on the world. We can't wait to welcome you into our hive. Go Yellow Jackets!
There's nothing better than a Subway Series footlong, except when you add a new footlong sidekick, like the boss with a new footlong cookie. This might be my favorite sidekick ever. What?
Every epic footlong deserves a perfect sidekick.
Let's put our stamp on this region. All right, let's do it emphatically. Yellow Jackets, 2-3.
And need a meal fast? Turn to your local Super One Foods. Whether it be wings and dip for watching the big game, or simply a delicious, healthy meal that's sure to satisfy even the picky eater in your family, we have you covered with convenient grab-and-go food options, all at the affordable prices you've come to expect. So leave the cooking to us and stop by your neighborhood Super One Foods, serving you lower prices and better choices.
With me today, we're gonna have a good time. You've convinced me. I'm ready to switch my account. Oh my gosh! Specific answer. They're learning quick. Can we Google it? Whatever. Okay.
All business
He's a quick
assets.
study.
There's so many words I want to say. Be careful. It is a love story.
You bet it is.
Fair.
I wasn't done.
Ask the questions that you think are silly. Thank you for joining. Bye.
Hanging out and enjoying the outdoors.
So come join us at the University of Wisconsin-Superior, where every day is an opportunity to learn, grow, and make your mark on the world. We can't wait to welcome you into our hive. Go Yellow Jackets!
There's nothing better than a Subway Series footlong, except when you add a new footlong sidekick, like the boss with a new footlong cookie. This might be my favorite sidekick ever. What?
Every epic footlong deserves a perfect sidekick.
Yeah, it's all good.
Campus of the University of Wisconsin-Superior, where tonight the Yellow Jackets are going to look to sew up their first conference championship since 2021 as they take on the Pointers from UW-Stevens Point. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Yellow Jacket Hockey Pregame Show sponsored by National Bank of Commerce. I am John Garver, and back in 1978, the British rock band Sniffin' the Tears had a hit song called Driver's Seat. And that is exactly where the Yellow Jackets find themselves heading into this hockey game here tonight. Jackets with a 3-point lead over UW-Stevens Point for first place in the WIAC. At the end of the day, what do they need? Well, they need to win a game. Can win it tonight, they can win it tomorrow. I'd prefer tonight to avoid the drama that would come on Saturday, but they need to win a game. If they do that, they're going to raise a banner and they will be the number one seed in the WIAC tournament. They could also end up in second place, but to do that, they would have to basically lose 5 of 6 points this weekend. So any kind of a win, whether it be in regulation time, in overtime, or a shootout, or losing 2 times in overtime or a shootout, is what will get the Yellow Jackets the victory. Again, haven't raised a banner since 2021, and it's exciting to see what is on the table for these two teams here tonight. UW-Stevens Point, meanwhile, they come in second place. Like I mentioned, 3 points behind the Yellow Jackets. They're playing some good hockey as well, as they have won 3 consecutive games and are in a really good position to make a run here at another conference title. So it should be a good one between these two clubs here at Westman Arena tonight. It's not lost on these teams what's at stake. Yellow Jackets want to finish this one off tonight so they can have a little less pressure in the lineup tomorrow. Meanwhile, UW-Stevens Point knows full well that the only way that they can get a path is to win some games. They need to win this one in regulation here tonight. Should be a good one. Should be one of our better crowds on the campaign as well. Should be a lot of fun here tonight, and we're happy to have you along for the ride. We've got a lot more to come on this Yellow Jacket Hockey Pregame Show sponsored by National Bank of Commerce. We'll have our usual look at the starting lineup. We'll hear from Coach McKenna, and when we come back after this break, we'll take a look at what else is going on around the WIAC, what happened last time out for each of these clubs, what's going on around UWS, all that and more when the pregame show continues right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Network. We're back here at Westman Arena, about 28 and a half minutes away from the drop of the puck in this showdown between the Yellow Jackets and UW Stevens Point. Yellow Jackets coming into this one on the season with a record of 18-3-2. 11-1-1 in the WIAC. Meanwhile, Stevens Point is 17-5-1, 9-3-1 in conference play. Last Saturday, the Yellow Jackets with a really nice answer against UW Stout. They had to kind of muddle their way through that game on Friday, and the hockey gods smiled on them and gave them the victory in overtime. And then on Saturday, they came back with a decisive 4-1 win over UW Stout at the Finetti Community Center in Menominee. It was scoreless after the first period. Yellow Jackets scoring a power play goal at 4:27 of the second period. Chris Ishmael getting his 5th of the season from Iki Kagawa and Carson Riddle to make it 1-0. And a really, really nice play by the Yellow Jackets right off the face-off. They won the draw, got it over into the left circle, and Ishmael snapped the shot up high for his 5th of the season to make it 1-0. Then at 6:10, the Yellow Jackets extended the lead. In the neutral zone, Carson Riddle got the puck, fed it ahead to Logan Nickerson, who came into Stout territory. From the right circle, he snapped a shot off that beat goaltender Tyler Masternak between the pads, his 4th, and it was 2-0 Yellow Jackets after 1. In the third period early, UW Stout got on the board when Maxis Bermanis scored at 3:40, but the Yellow Jackets answering less than a minute later at 4:39. Reed Stark scoring from the right circle. Daniel Roosevelt and Justin Dauphiné got the assists. The Yellow Jackets were up 3-1. And then they were able to salt it away with an empty net goal. Second of the night for Stark. That came at 19:49. Colin Pedersen got the assist, and the Yellow Jackets emerged with the 4-1 victory. Shots on goal in the game favoring the Yellow Jackets at 30-24. Noteworthy because on Friday night, the Yellow Jackets had 5 shots on net through the first 2 periods, and they probably had that many on Saturday in the first 3 or 4 minutes of play. Kobe Grant got the win for the Yellow Jackets in goal. He improves to 6-1-2. On the season. Elsewhere around the WIAC, Eau Claire defeated River Falls 7-5 as the teams combined for 12 goals in the Seesaw Slugfest. Alex Atwill opened the scoring for River Falls at 8:10 of the first, and Danny Reese tied it for Eau Claire with 1:23 left to go in the period. Eau Claire took the lead early in the second. Connor Schmull scored at 3:28, and they extended the lead a few minutes later on a goal by Will Brenner. River Falls scored the next 2, getting goals from Johnny Myers and Burke Simpson to tie it midway through the second period. Eau Claire then would follow with goals by Eli Reimer and Max Dronen at 13:12 and 14:02, reinstating the 2-goal lead, but Simpson cut that one in half with his second of the game at 16:25. Then Schmull scored his second in the eventual game winner, 1:05 into the third period to make it 6-4. Cade Peterson for Eau Claire and Ethan Lindahl of River Falls scored later in the period to make the final 7-5. Shots favoring Eau Claire at 31-28. Stevens Point then defeated Northland 5-0. No drama in this one like there was on Friday night, with Northland scoring the first 2 goals of the game 3 minutes in to take the early lead. No drama in this one, however. The Pointers jumped out to the 3-0 first period lead and cruised to the win. Chris Engelbert, Sean Bunting, and Peyton Hart scored in the first period. Bunting added 2 more in the second to complete the hat trick and make the final 5-0. Stevens Point outshot the Lumberjacks 42-15. So what does this do for the standings? I should preface this by saying everything I looked at previously did not take into account that Northland and River Falls played last night. River Falls won that game 6-3, so it completely jacked up my standings model that I had coming into things here. But basically, the Yellow Jackets are sitting in first place, 18-3-2 overall, 11-1-1 in the conference. They have 31 points. Stevens Point is sitting second at 17-5-1 overall, 9-3-1 in the WIAC, 28 points. River Falls, with 1 game left to go on their schedule, sitting in third place, 13-10-1 overall, 7-6-1 in the WIAC. They have 23 points. Then Eau Claire is in fourth place, 9-13-1 overall, 7-6-0 in the conference, 22 points. Stout is in fifth place, 11-10-2 overall, 4-8-1 in the conference. They have 16 points. And then Northland is sitting in sixth place with 0 points. So what does that look like now heading into this weekend? Well, you've got these 2 teams playing here tonight, and they can either finish 1 or 2. That's what we know. They've earned the bye, so they'll have the bye going into the next round of the they sit out the opening round, and we will see each one of these teams again in the semifinals. One of them will be the 1 seed, one of them will be the 2 seed. You've got River Falls sitting in third place. They have 23 points, one up on Eau Claire. And right now, River Falls can finish third or fourth. Eau Claire is in fourth place with 22 points. Stout is fifth with 16 points. Eau Claire can finish anywhere from third to fifth, and Stout can finish in fourth or fifth. So my point being, there's a lot that's still on the line here for all of these teams as we make our way through this final weekend. In addition to this one tonight, the only other game on tap has UW Stout at the Hobbs Ice Arena in Eau Claire to take on the Blue Golds. And then tomorrow, all 6 teams will play. You will have Northland at River Falls, you will have Stout at Eau Claire, and you will have Stevens Point here at Westman Arena. So as much as you feel like there should be a lot that we know, there's a lot that we do not know, and a lot of movement can still happen in these standings as we make our way from tonight into tomorrow. The WIAC Athlete of the Week this week is Yellow Jacket senior forward Reed Stark, who had a big week helping the Yellow Jackets win twice on the road at Stout. He had the primary assist on both goals in Friday's 2-1 come-from-behind win in overtime. Then on Saturday, he scored 2 third-period goals, first coming less than a minute after Stout got on the board, and the second in the final minute to ice the 4-1 win. He also had 10 shots on goal in that on the weekend. He is the WIAC Player of the Week, and it's the second time this year that Reed Stark has been honored with the conference hardware. In the national polls on U.S. College Hockey Online, UW Stevens Point is ranked 10th, and the Yellow Jackets still sitting at 11th, so neither team moved in the standings after last weekend's games. And then on D3 hockey news, each team was able to move up. The Yellow Jackets jumping 2 slots, so they are now the number 7 team in the country, according to D3 hockey news, and UW Stevens Point is ranked at number 9. Elsewhere around UW Superior this weekend, busy weekend on campus. Everybody is at home in a battle of 2 teams tied for first place in the Upper Midwest Athletic Conference tomorrow. Men's basketball will be hosting Bethany Lutheran. That's a 3 o'clock start at the Mertz. 3-way tie for first place, actually, in the Upper Midwest Athletic Conference. The Yellow Jackets, Bethany Lutheran, and North Central, all with identical 8-3 records in conference play. After the men's game, the women will take on Bethany Lutheran. Yellow Jacket women are 13-9 overall, 9-2 in the Upper Midwest Athletic Conference. They are in first place all by themselves, 1 game up on both Northwestern and Bethany Lutheran. That game will be at 4:45, 5 o'clock, somewhere in that ballpark tomorrow. Track and field is at home at the Lydia Thiering Fieldhouse as they host the Midday Classic. That starts tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then on Sunday, the Yellow Jacket men's and women's tennis teams are home for the first time this spring, as they'll be taking on St. Olaf at the Duluth Indoor Sports Center, otherwise known as DISC, on Sunday morning and afternoon. So again, very, very busy stretch of things here around UW Superior as we start that transition from winter sports starting to wrap up and moving on into the start of the spring sports season. About 20 minutes away from the drop of the puck here tonight between the Yellow Jackets and the Pointers. We'll take a quick timeout, and when we come back, we will take a look at the starting lineups in this one. And then we'll also have our conversation with Yellow Jacket head coach Rich McKenna as the pregame show sponsored by National Bank of Commerce continues after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Network. Time to take a look at the starting lineups in this one. Our starting lineups, as always, are sponsored by Superior Choice Credit Union. Yellow Jackets going with Kobe Grant in goal, the sophomore out of Vernon, British Columbia, making his 10th appearance on the year. He's 6-1-2 with a 1.63 goals against average and a save percentage of .947. He has one shutout on the season. He got the victory last Saturday and has put together a really nice season this year after a very frustrating freshman campaign. So he will get the nod in goal for the Yellow Jackets here tonight. Starting defense pair in front of him, the defense pair Dusty Bergstrom and Matt Danziger. The forward line, Justin Dauphiné will center Daniel Roosevelt on the right wing and Reed Stark on the left. And boy, Coach McKenna, I think I say this just about every week, but Coach McKenna, not somebody who likes to leave his line stagnant. He likes to shake things up, likes to move players around. And yet this line has been together now going back to, early December, I think. He might have put them together, I think, the first time when the Yellow Jackets played River Falls. And they are still together here. It's been a long stretch for them. And the chemistry is definitely there as these guys play very, very well off of each other. Other forward lines tonight. Matt Francois back in the lineup. He will be centering Colin Pedersen on the right wing and Iki Kagawa on the left wing. Gavin Rasmussen back in the lineup tonight. He will be centering Logan Nickerson on the right wing and Carson Riddle on the left wing. Alexei Yarmolnik will center Chris Ishmael on the right wing and Blake Setter on the left wing. Other defense pairs, Evan Axel and Tyler Ryder are paired together. Blake Holmes and Frank DeVorney, who is back in the lineup, is the other pair. The extra skater tonight is Trey Sauter. Backup goaltenders for the Yellow Jackets, Jack Boschert and Jan Skorpik. Starting at goal tonight for UW Stevens Point will be Alex Proctor. Proctor is a 6'2", 185-pound junior out of Allen, Texas, making his 20th appearance on the season. He's 14-4-1, has a goals against average of 2.26, a save percentage of .924, and he's got a pair of shutouts in goal as well. He is the starting goaltender tonight for UW Stevens Point. Defense pair in front of him will be Hunter O'Brien and Joseph Manning. And the forward line will be Chris Engelbert centering Owen Dean on the right wing and Dawson Chirino on the left. And we mentioned briefly in the open tonight, very potent offense here for UW Stevens Point. They have they're one of 3 teams in the country that has scored at least 100 goals so far this season. They have the fourth highest scoring team in the nation at 4.39 goals per game. Obviously, they lead the WIAC in that department. They have a top power play, 28.1%. They're the least penalized team in the conference. They're the top face-off team in the conference, so they truly are an offensive juggernaut that we have in the WIAC. The Yellow Jackets, on the flip side of it, are the 3rd best defensive team in the country. They have the fewest goals allowed in the WIAC, averaging just 1.48 goals allowed per game. That's 0.87 goals per game better than second-place Stout. So, you know, it definitely is that irresistible force against the immovable object, or however you want to say it. But, you know, you've got kind of polar opposites with a very strong offensive Stevens Point club, a very strong defensive Yellow Jacket team. Great power play for Stevens Point, great penalty kill for the Yellow Jackets. It's shaping up here to be a really fun game of matchups between these two clubs here tonight. And those are your starting lineups, sponsored by Superior Choice Credit Union. 14 and a half minutes away from the start of this one between the Yellow Jackets and the Pointers. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we will have our conversation with Yellow Jacket head coach Rich McKenna. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Network. We're back on the Yellow Jacket Hockey Pregame Show, sponsored by National Bank of Commerce. It's Friday nights. The Yellow Jackets back home to take on UW Stevens Point in the first game of the final weekend of this 24-25 regular season. I'm John Garver, and we're joined as always by Yellow Jacket head coach Rich McKenna. And first and foremost, Coach, final weekend of the regular season. Where did this one go? This might be one of the fastest ones yet.
Well, it happens. It goes faster when you're winning, that's for sure. If you go back to last year, it was a pretty long road to this weekend. But no, it has gone fast. The guys have put together a very good season so far, and it's exciting to be playing this type of game here in the last weekend.
Team had a really nice answer last weekend after clunker on Friday, where you snuck out a win. Saturday, a much better effort and a much more decisive victory.
Yeah, I would say basically from the third period on, from Friday night, we put together 4 good periods of hockey. It's kind of funny when you look on the video editing and all the analytics you get back. We actually had more scoring chances on Friday than we had on Saturday, but we had the puck a lot more on Saturday, obviously. So found a way, we found a way to kind of get a little bit of humble pie without getting humbled all the way. On Friday, we got through that. Saturday was a much more disciplined game, and we played a little way more structured, and lines were kind of going, and so on and so forth. And I think it set us up here for this weekend. We've had a good week of practice, and excited to get going here.
2-0 after the second period. Then they score one early in the third period, and that kind of gives you a little bit of an uneasy feeling, like, okay, just like you were on Friday, they're one shot away from tying this thing up. But less than a minute later, Reed Stark scores a huge goal, and that was a really dynamite answer at that time of the game.
Yeah, for sure. And again, we are at the point in the season now too that that's what your best players have to do, right? It's no secret. Starkey, JD, and Rosie have been a pretty dynamic trio for us. They might not always score every game, but they get it done. They turn the tide. They do whatever, and obviously they are putting up points too, right? So that was that was the answer we were looking for. Those are moments again that you look back on, as a group, but also for Starkey individually being I am going to be the guy. I want the puck at the crucial moments, and it builds confidence, and I'm very proud of those guys and all the guys in general. I think, they scored that goal. It was kind of let's just get back to work. Whatever, it happens. It really, where in years past, I think things tighten up, and we played not to lose. We played to win, and we got the win.
I thought another interesting aspect is you were down some players last Saturday too. I mean, you had 2 guys that were suspended from the altercation on Friday. You had a couple other guys that were nursing some nagging injuries that didn't play. So you had, a handful of guys in the lineup last Saturday that haven't been getting a ton of minutes. Team didn't miss a beat.
No, I mean, hey, Raz didn't play any games last weekend. Whitey was out. Franny was out, obviously. Frank was out. Those are 4 players that could play on any team in the country, and we were able to backfill right in. One of the big things I'm really proud of this team is there's a lot of guys that could play in a lot of places, but they chose here. And when their number's called, they answer the bell, and you didn't know that we didn't have those guys in. I thought Axe and Sam stepped in beautifully on the blue line. I thought they were great. I mean, Sam was fantastic getting pucks in on net and all of that. Sauter, he played a really good, calculated game. I thought Poodle was awesome too. You could go on and on about all the guys. We have a good team this year, and I'm hoping they seize this moment here this weekend.
I'm glad you used the word moment now, because we turn the page and UW Stevens Point coming in, and there's been a lot of build up to this. You're both nationally ranked. In one poll you're in the top 10, and the other one they're in the top 10. You're both ranked in both of them. 2 years ago it was the same scenario, where they came into the building and in this final weekend, and it was to determine who was going to win the conference championship. The moment was a little too big for that group then.
Well, they pistol whipped us. Let's just call it what it is. It was awful. yeah, and that's, listen, they're accustomed to being here. They're accustomed to finishing first, or top two, or getting buys, however you want to slice and dice it. It is new to us. I like our chances. I think we have a much different team. And it's not like the team a couple of years ago couldn't do it. It's just, it didn't go our way, and it kind of imploded, and it happens, and you got to move on from it. But again, this weekend or whatever, it's not about righting any wrongs. It's not about the past. It's about the now, and what this team has in front of them now. The opportunity, the challenge, whatever you want. It's the now, not anything else. And if they want it, they'll get it. If they, and again, this to me is going to be 6 really hard periods of hockey. Both teams earned the bye for a reason. Both teams should need the bye after this weekend, because it's going to be 6 periods of hell.
They're a very dynamic offensive team. They are fourth in the nation in goals scored, or in goals per game, one of 3 in the country that has scored over 100 goals on the season. On the other end of it, you guys are one of the best defensive teams in the country. They've got a really good power play. You've got a really solid penalty kill. So this is kind of a tale of 2 different teams.
Yeah, and I think that's what they do, right? And we know how to defend, but on the flip side too, we score enough to win. Whereas, I don't know, do they try to outscore the other team to win, or do they know how to defend? I think we need to push them to defend, and let's see if they can play that 200-foot game. And listen, they're a good program. Let's just call it what it is. They're a good team. They know how to win. We just have to play our game. I think if we defend the way we know we can defend, and we can grind and play in the offensive zone the way we have. I mean, we're scoring 3.5, right? Something like that. It's more than enough to win, right? If we can keep this thing if we can keep them to 2 goals, we're good. And then we become the dynamic offensive team.
The season-long goalie carousel. Who goes tonight?
Colby's kicking tonight. So.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck.
Take care, guys.
That's Yellow Jacket head coach Rich McKenna in his 9th season behind the bench. 109 wins, 103 losses, 18 ties. His counterpart is Tyler Krieger in his 8th season with the Pointers. 154 wins, 40 losses, and 17 ties. The officials for tonight's game have been assigned by the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Referees are Glenn Hagberg and Morgan Shepard, and the linesmen are Bronson Shepard and David Berngen. And that's going to do it for the Yellow Jacket Hockey pregame show, sponsored by National Bank of Commerce. When we come back, the drop of the puck between the Yellow Jackets and the Pointers. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Network. At Westman Arena, moments away from the drop of the puck between the Yellow Jackets and UW Stevens Point here on this Friday evening in mid-February, the final Friday of the regular season here for the Yellow Jacket men's hockey team. And I turn my attention to Jason Roan now, and I gotta tell you, buddy, number one, this season flew by really, really quickly. I guess that kind of happens when you are winning. It's not dragging along. It's not that death march like we were going through last year, but you couldn't ask for a better scenario here, man, when you've got the top two teams in the conference, one of them coming out with a conference championship this weekend.
Yeah, it's almost like the schedule makers knew what they were doing. It's been fun watching the evolution of this UWS team over the course of that season that has flown by. They started off in one place. Now they're in a different place. It'll be interesting to see if they can finish it off.
And both of these teams were very different teams when they met back in November. Stevens Point winning that one 5-4. And the Yellow Jackets started off dreadfully and clawed their way back into it. And let's hope we have a much better start in this one here. Kobe Grant in the goal to our left. And we are underway as the Jackets win the opening faceoff. The opening faceoff tonight is sponsored by Barker's Island Inn, Northern Wisconsin's Island Getaway. Justin Dauphiné out of the right wing corner. Up top, Danziger is shot. That catches a skate in front. It's going to be picked up and played ahead at center now. Bergstrom breaks it up for the Yellow Jackets. Pointers get it right back. Owen Dean across the Yellow Jacket line. Feeds Dawson Chirino. His shot from the right circle is going to be deflected wide. And the Yellow Jackets will clear that back out into the neutral zone. Stevens Point will regroup. Joshua German tips that one up the middle, and Owen Dean sends it in. Chirino collides with Dusty Bergstrom, and that's going to be a penalty on the Pointers as Dawson Chirino initiated the contact and left his feet. And that's going to be a penalty, and the Yellow Jackets are going to get an early power play. Dangerous hit by Chirino.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen both teams wanting to come out with authority, get those bumps in, as we've heard the coach talking about. Daniel Roosevelt is the F1 for UWS, did it the legal way, and in that case, Chirino did it the illegal way, and now the Yellow Jackets are going to be on the power play.
Elbowing is the call on Chirino. Time of that penalty, 44 seconds of the first period. Yellow Jacket power play comes into the game at 15.6%. They scored twice last Saturday. Stevens Point on the PK, 80.6%. Face off to Proctor's right, controlled by the Yellow Jackets as Pedersen has it. Up top, Riddle at the left point. Saucer pass over to the right point, and that's going to be sent down low. Now it kicks to the left corner. It comes up top to the left point. Riddle stick handles, feeds Rasmussen on the half board. Up top, right point, Kagawa. Now back to the left side for Rasmussen. He toes the line before dumping it down low. Now it comes over to the right side. Kagawa's got it there. He passes it behind the Stevens Point net. It comes up the right side, and Poulias for the Pointers will send that all the way down. Yellow Jackets will be forced to regroup. Stevens Point, meanwhile, good on the PK. In terms of scoring, they lead the conference with 6 shorthanded goals. Kagawa up the right wing, crosses the line, leaving it there for Dauphiné. Dauphiné to the right circle for Kagawa. Back down low, Roosevelt right corner, up top, that pass intercepted. Jackets get it back, however, on the steal by Rasmussen. Now Kagawa's pass is tipped, it goes over the top of the Stevens Point net. Picked up there by Kagawa, and Riddle, and he'll wrap it all the way around. Kagawa, now he turns it over, and the Pointers come back the other way. Shimolevsky across the Yellow Jacket line is shot, and the save is made by Grant. Rebound picked up by Tyler Ryder, and he'll throw it up on the right wing for Roosevelt, who sends it to neutral ice. Pointers are going to back that all the way up, and now they'll play it ahead on the right wing. Across the Yellow Jacket line, Quentin Hill with a shot, and the save made by Grant. So the Pointers with more shots on the power play than the Jackets here. Nearly as much ozone time as well. Behind the Yellow Jacket net, Ryder gets crunched. Got the puck ahead on the left wing now, and Reed Stark carries it there. He'll dump it down into the Stevens Point zone. Pointers get there first. They go to clear. Held in on the right side by Holmes. Now Hill on the backhand will go high off the glass and out. And that puck will come all the way down into Yellow Jacket territory. Evan Axel for the Jackets feeds it into the middle here for Ishmael. Now he'll curl it back. Ishmael gives off on the left side for Holmes. Rink wide on the right for Axel. He goes and dumps it in. It goes off of a Pointer defender. Picked up here by Setter. Penalty on Chirino has expired, so we're back to 5 skaters apiece. Not the power play the Jackets were hoping for here in the early going.
Racked up a good amount of zone time, just didn't come up with any shots.
They get a stoppage in play as that puck pops up into the Yellow Jacket bench. Excuse me. Face off just outside the blue line, the Yellow Jacket blue line, that is. Axel ahead on the left wing for Riddle. He couldn't handle the pass. Now Rasmussen's got it. Lifts it ahead for Riddle. Riddle gets around one, gets around another, then loses the handle on the puck. Pointers come back the other way quickly. Across the Yellow Jacket line, Dean takes a blast here from the right circle. Grant's going to make the save, and he'll hang on, and we'll get a face-off coming up here in Yellow Jacket territory.
One thing we've seen in the early going is Stevens Point looking for that long stretch pass. Even while they were shorthanded, they were taking the opportunity to make that long stretch pass. Be something the Jackets will have to be on the alert for tonight.
Face-off is to the left of Kobe Grant. 16:43 to go, opening period. No score. Pointers controlling the face-off. Jackets with a steal at the line, and it's going to come out to neutral ice. Tyler German will circle it all the way back into his own zone. Gives to Eftimovsky, now over to Norris on the left. He comes off the board. Crosses the red line and dumps it in. It comes around behind the Yellow Jacket net. On the right wing boards, Nickerson able to get it out of the zone. Pointers dump it back in. Jackets clear it right back out. Puck is down in Pointer territory now behind the goal. Eftimovsky's got it. Gives it ahead on the right wing. Crossing the Yellow Jacket line, Tyler German. He throws it toward the front of the net. Off the stick of Grant. Now it comes up top. The shot taken by Joshua German, blocked, and that'll carry him back out into the neutral zone. On the left wing, Peyton Hart, top goal scorer in the WIAC with 16. Sends it down into the Yellow Jacket zone. Bergstrom ahead on the right wing, Roosevelt. That one broken up. Jackets get it back. Stark across the line, right circle, takes the shot. It's blocked. Puck ricochets to the left wing corner. Dauphiné got there, but then he was tied up, couldn't get a stick on the puck, and Shimolevsky back the other way for Stevens Point. Over to the right side, Poulias. He throws that toward the front of the net. Grant gets a stick on it, pokes it away, and the Jackets could have numbers the other way if they hustle. Up the right wing, this is Dauphiné. Dauphiné right circle, tried to throw it in front, it hits a stick, came to the side of the net where Tyler Ryder was, but he couldn't get a stick on that. Pointers back the other way. Shimolevsky across the line, right circle, a shot is deflected wide by Roosevelt. Jackets go to clear, but Moser holds it in at the left point. Now behind the Yellow Jacket net, Ryder tips it around to the left wing for Reed Stark. Stark goes to clear, that one knocked down as we pass the 5-minute mark of the first period. Yellow Jackets and Pointers scoreless from Westman Arena in Superior. Puck comes down into the Stevens Point zone where Moser picks it up. Moser now carries it ahead on the left wing. Aiden Moser knocked off the play by Pettersson. Jackets regain control in front of their own net with Dvorny. Over to the left wing, Kagawa. Rink wide feed, finds Pettersson. Puck actually hits the linesman and stalls out that rush, and Sean Bunting back the other way. He's taken down. Penalty coming on the Yellow Jackets. So this potent power play for the Pointers is going to get its first opportunity of the hockey game as the Jackets took down Bunting on the rush.
Tough sequence there, as you mentioned. It all started with the attempted dump in, hitting the linesman, and ending up in a breakout for Stevens Point. And the Yellow Jackets were scrambling to break that up and ended up taking a penalty. And as you mentioned earlier, Peyton Hart leading the WIAC in goals, and more than half of those have come on the power play, so he's certainly a guy that you want to keep an eye on here.
Time of the penalty, 5:28. Blake Holmes for holding. The Yellow Jacket penalty kill comes into the game, 88.5%. Pointers on the power play, 28.1%. Fletcher Anderson on the right wing, gives it down low to Hart. He immediately threw that one back up. Whether he wanted right point or right circle, it split the D and came all the way down the ice. Pointers will be forced to regroup. Nico Shimolevsky, the WIAC leader in assists, drops it off for Chirino. Chirino into the Yellow Jacket zone. His shot goes over the top of the net. He leads the WIAC in points, Chirino does, and he's got the puck in the slot now. Chirino, right circle, throws it in front. The redirection by Hart just misses wide. That was a misfire by Peyton Hart because that should have been a goal. Now behind the Yellow Jacket net, Chirino. Had it poked away from him by Roosevelt. Now Danziger's got it. He'll carry behind the net. Danziger's going to go up the right wing boards and all the way down. Proctor in the net, or out of the net I should say, leaves it behind the goal, and Shimolevsky will pick it up there. Nico Shimolevsky picking up speed across the red. Dropping that one off now. Fletcher Anderson across the Yellow Jacket blue line on the right wing. Carries down to the corner. Centers it, goes off the skate of Chirino. Comes right to Justin Dauphiné, and he'll send that all the way down. 45 seconds left in the minor penalty to Blake Holmes.
Chirino had a good look there, but the centering pass was right at his feet instead of on the tape.
At center now for the Pointers. This is Owen Dean on the right wing. Jackets break that one up. Pettersson's got it here. He goes to dump it. It hit the linesman again. He's 2 for 2 on that tonight now. Puck comes all the way back behind the Yellow Jacket net. Ryder's got it. He'll send it all the way down. Proctor out of the goal. Up the left wing for Norris. Norris comes off the boards now and carries it back to the middle of the ice. Now Norris dropping it off. Engelbert's got it. He crosses the Yellow Jacket line. Tried to stick handle through traffic. Jackets break it up and send it all the way down. That'll do it here as the final seconds tick off the penalty. Good kill for the Yellow Jackets there as Blake Holmes comes out of the penalty box. Now Norris up the left wing across the Yellow Jacket line. Carries it down low. Danziger leaning on him. It ends up in the right wing corner. Danziger's there. Pokes it up the wall. Tipped to the line by Nickerson. It did come out, so the Pointers will have to tag up. Jackets, meanwhile, will come back on the attack. On the right wing, Nickerson couldn't handle that pass off the boards. Comes all the way down. Mosier for Stevens Point will send that off the wall into the neutral zone. Now Carson Riddle throws that over to the left side. Taken there by Ryder. He banks it up of a Pointer player. Almost looked like he was doing that intentionally. Didn't
have any other options.
And it's going to end up being an icing call. 11:54 to play here in this first period. Shots favoring the Pointers 3-0, and we have no score. And I would hazard a guess to say probably pretty much what we expected here, Jason. This is going to be a tight checking weekend.
Yeah, aside from 2 penalties in the early going, not much unexpected at this point. Fast skating, tight checking.
Evan Junker for the Pointers plays it behind the net. Axel's got it there. He goes up the right side trying to find Nickerson, and that one's going to get up on end and spin all the way down. And we'll have another icing call. And it'll come back down into the Yellow Jacket zone to the left of starting goaltender Kobe Grant. Ishmael steps in to take the draw. And he'll win the draw. Ryder's got it behind the Yellow Jacket net. Up on the right wing for Nickerson. He couldn't clear. Centering pass off the stick of Axel, and that'll dribble in on goal. It's going to be covered up there by Grant. And we'll get a face-off coming here in Yellow Jacket territory.
Good flow interrupted by a series of stoppages here. Yellow Jackets getting plenty of work on that defensive zone face-off.
Both sides.
Yes.
Face-off is to the right of Grant this time. Dauphiné to take the draw against Poulias. Shimoleski gets it for the Pointers and gives it down low. Fletcher Anderson in the left wing corner. He comes out with it. Jackets pick up the puck. Holmes up the right side for Roosevelt, and that's going to be cleared to neutral ice. Comes down into the Stevens Point zone where Manning picks it up. Joseph Manning picking up speed. Sends it ahead on the right wing. Poulias across the line. That rush developed very quickly, but the Yellow Jackets with good back pressure able to sweep that scoring opportunity away. Now in the left corner, Poulias has it. Sends it up top. Walking into the middle, O'Brien takes a shot. Tipped in front, and a save made by Grant. Good redirection by the Pointers there, and an even better save by Kobe Grant. Now Dauphiné clears it out to neutral ice. Anderson picks it up. Fletcher Anderson here for the Pointers. Somehow gets through all the Yellow Jacket forwards, gets around the D, goes the distance and scores. Holy highlight reel goal there by Fletcher Anderson as nobody in a gold sweater decided to take the body. And he beats Grant on the glove side. It's 1-0.
Blake Holmes was the last person with a chance, and he got caught fishing for the puck. And it's 1-0 Pointers.
9:20 of the first period, the time of the goal. I mean, Anderson had the puck from his own blue line all the way in and just danced around all the forwards, and then, like you said, caught Holmes fishing for the puck. So the Jackets trailing here. 1-0 Pointers. This has not been the start, I think, that the Yellow Jackets wanted. Now the puck to the left of the Yellow Jacket net. The centering attempt isn't going to go. Now it's picked up and taken all the way up to the line. Tyler German has his shot blocked, but he gets the puck back. Jackets over skate. Chopping the point in on goal. Grant the save. Hart on the doorstep, banging away, looking for the rebound. And we're going to get a stoppage in play.
Yellow Jackets badly needing a change in momentum here. It's been all Pointers for the last 2.5, 3 minutes in this one.
Basically, since the Yellow Jackets took that penalty, Stevens Point has had all the action here so far. Face-off is going to be to the left of Grant. 10:13 to go, first period, 1-0 Pointers. Jackets still looking for a shot on net. And I hate to say it, but this feels a little bit like last Friday at Stout. Off the face-off, the Jackets get a stick on it and actually flip it over the glass, so we'll do it again.
Yeah, great first shift for UWS tonight, but haven't won many shifts since then.
Matt Francois will step in to take the face-off here to the left of Kobe Grant. 1-0 Pointers. They win the face-off again. They've been pretty even in the circle so far. The Pointers the best face-off team in the conference as the puck comes back to the Stevens Point line. Norris has it there, quickly up the left side for Hart. Jackets are able to intercept that pass now. Evan Axel here, off the glass on the right side to neutral. Hart knocks it down, and he'll play it back into his own zone for Norris. Over to the right side for Eftimovsky, now at center, picked off by Ryder. Then his pass goes between two Yellow Jacket players. Comes all the way down behind the net. Kagawa left corner. Kagawa knocked off his skates there by Eftimovsky, but he gets away. Kagawa behind the net, feeds it on the doorstep. The shot by Pettersson, and the save is made by Proctor. So the Jackets finally getting that shot on goal. And the puck comes back out into the neutral zone. Kagawa trying to get after the loose puck, but Norris held him up. Now he's got it on the right side. He'll bank it off the linesman and in. Jackets have the market cornered on that tonight. We've been able to hit the linesman more times than we've put the puck on net. Behind the Stevens Point goal now. Riddle knocks his man off the puck. Nickerson takes the loose puck, passes it down low behind the net. Broken up there by Norris. Around the left side to Dean. He tips to the middle. This is Engelbert now. To the left side, Chirino. He's got a poke checked off his stick, and the Yellow Jackets will clear as that one comes down into Stevens Point territory. Owen Dean has it here for the Pointers. Gives it for Junker. Evan Junker across the red. Over to the left side, and they'll be dumped in by Joshua German. Yellow Jackets will get control on the left wing boards. Riddle. A little nonchalant there, Riddle was, and it nearly turns it over. But the puck does find its way out into neutral ice. Junker backing it up. Gives it for Joshua German, left side. He scored the game winner against the Yellow Jackets in the first meeting of the year back in November in Stevens Point. Danziger throws it up on the right side for Riddle. Puck is going to get past Roosevelt and come down into the Stevens Point zone where Manning has it. Manning now ahead on the right wing. It's tipped into Yellow Jacket territory. Behind the goal, Danziger. He loses the puck. It's centered out front. Jackets is getting beat to every puck right now. Every 50-50 puck is going to the Pointers. Balls trips up. Roosevelt going after the puck. Referees don't see it. Play continues on. Now a shot from the right point by Manning is going to get blocked in traffic. Yellow Jackets, Bergstrom's got it here, and he'll throw it ahead at center. On the right wing, Roosevelt passes it ahead. Dauphiné giving chase. He and Poulias go after the puck. Stark's got it now. Left wing corner, Stevens Point zone. Passes behind the net for Dauphiné. Dauphiné along the boards. Gets it to Roosevelt. Roosevelt tied up. Stark picks up the loose puck. Now he loses the handle on it. It's back in the pile with Roosevelt, who's being tied up. Stark in there with Manning as well. Still digging for that loose puck in the right wing corner. Stark pokes it loose. Dauphiné's got it. Dauphiné comes out the left side. Feeds it into the circle, and the one-timer by Ryder is tipped wide. Now Roosevelt up top. Ryder at the left point. Over to the right point for Axel. In the middle for Ryder. He takes the shot that's going to miss by a mile, and the Pointers are going to quickly come back in transition, but Ryder breaks up the play. Now back across the line they come. Poulias on the right side. Centering pass is blocked. Dauphiné gets it, and he'll clear it out to neutral ice. Norris on the left wing. His pass intercepted. Evan Axel up the right side into the Stevens Point zone. Takes the shot. Proctor, the same rebound is there. Jackets battling away for it, but Blake Setter could get a stick on it. Pointers get it away from trouble. Now in the right wing corner, Setter knocked off his skates. Falls down. Puck underneath him. He gets back up. Setter sends it up top. Left point to Vorney. Stick handles. Waits. Now throws it down low, but there's nobody in a gold sweater there. And the Pointers are going to go to clear. Jackets break it up. At the left point to Vorney, his shot blocked. Yermolnik picks it up, centering pass. Goes off the stick of Setter, ends up behind the Stevens Point net. Now it comes around to the left side where Ishmael's got it. Ishmael cycles it back deep. It comes around the boards to the right corner. Setter picks it up there. Setter on the wall is pinned to the boards, and it's going to come free. Shimolevsky gets it for Stevens Point, and he'll start it back the other way. Over to Fletcher Anderson on the right wing, and he'll dump it in. Behind the Yellow Jacket net, Holmes has it here. Holmes gets around one man, carries it across the red line into the Pointer zone, takes the shot, and the save is made by Proctor. He'll hold on. And we'll get a face-off here in the Stevens Point zone. Gives us an opportunity to see if you can't get enough of the Yellow Jackets. Tune in to Eye of the Swarm, the official podcast of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Join the Big Sound Matt Johnson and me throughout the year as we sit down with Yellow Jacket student athletes, coaches, and other guests. Eye of the Swarm is available on Yellow Jacket TV, UWSYellowJackets.com/podcast, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcast. The latest episode will drop on Monday, featuring none other than Coach McKenna, along with senior captain Gavin Rasmussen.
3 good shifts in a row there for UWS. Just the response they needed. All started with Iki Kagawa doing what he does in the corner. He's fantastic in tight spaces, elusive, hard on the puck. Was able to maintain possession and come out of a situation where he was outnumbered 1 against 2 in the corner, but still came out with the puck, created a scoring chance. Everything has kind of flowed from there for the Yellow Jackets. They've been able to put together consecutive good shifts.
Yeah, he's so slippery. And that's about the best word I can use for him, is he is so incredibly slippery.
He's probably the best on his edges I've ever seen at this level.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying I go back like 40 years of watching this level, but
me either.
He's great on his edges.
5:41 to go, first period, 1-0 Pointers. Face off to the left of Proctor, controlled by Stevens Point. Chirino taken into the boards by Colin Pedersen, but Chirino moves it ahead at center. Owen Dean dumps it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Danziger giving chase. He'll pick it up and slide it to the middle off the skate of Kagawa, but it's going to come to neutral ice. Junker will take it there and drive it in. Puck comes hard around the boards. Danziger has his pocket picked by Chirino, but then he lost the puck. And Bergstrom will come back the other way. Throws it over to the right side. Danziger. He couldn't quite handle the pass. Then he sends it ahead. Kagawa catches up to it, right wing corner. Blows a tire down there, so much for being good on the edges, Jason.
I talked him up too much.
At center now, the Pointers have it. Engelbert dumps it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Axel takes his man off the puck. Rasmussen will pick it up and carry it around the net. Come out the left side with it here. The senior captain out of Cloquet up the left wing. Backhand shot from the left circle, steered away by Proctor. Rasmussen in the right wing corner now, plays it behind the net to the left side. Nickerson giving chase. Bunting's got the puck for Stevens Point, and he'll slide it ahead. Now over to the right side, left side, O'Brien to Quentin Hill in the neutral zone, and he'll dump it in. Ryder for the Yellow Jackets, left corner, sends it up the boards, and Nickerson will clear it to center. Riddle tried to poke it past the defense but couldn't, and Matthew Falls back the other way for the Pointers. Into the Yellow Jacket zone, right side. Falls, sharp angle shot goes off the side of the net. Riddle picks that one up there, and he'll throw it rink wide on the right. Nickerson crosses the red, and he dumps it into Pointer territory. Eftimovsky behind the goal now. Carries it ahead. Crosses the blue line, crosses the red, and dumps it into Yellow Jacket territory. Comes down behind the net. Pointers get it there. They try to center. It's blocked. Dauphiné has got it now. Now he has the puck taken away from him. Pointers have it. Amity on the right side. Passes it behind the Yellow Jacket net for Tyler German. German now in the left circle. Back behind the net for Hamity. German left wing corner comes out with it. Sharp angle shot blocked by Holmes. Norris at the left point, a shot that's going to go wide of the mark. 3.5 minutes to go, first period, 1-0 Pointers. Puck loose to the right of the Yellow Jacket net. Taken there by Dvorny. Headlock on Blake Holmes there, and that's going to allow the Yellow Jackets actually to get out of the zone. Up the right wing, Roosevelt into Stevens Point territory. Roosevelt right side, throws it in front, and it gets tipped up in the air, lands on the left wing boards. Roosevelt sends it around behind the Pointer net. Stark gave chase. Now it's almost a steal in front, as reading the play nicely was Roosevelt, but the Pointers able to recover. Roosevelt top of the left circle, pushes it down behind the Stevens Point net. It gets to the line, but not out as it's held there by Danziger. In the right wing corner, Reed Stark gets spun around. Dauphiné had the puck for a moment, now he loses it. Up top at the right point, Danziger, left point. Bergstrom in the middle, Danziger. He takes the shot, that catches traffic in front. On the right wing board, Ishmael. Sends it down low for Dauphiné, who gets off the check. Dauphiné right corner. Dauphiné works it into the right circle, now up top. Great pass, cutting the net. Center with a shot, and the save is made by Proctor. Rebound picked up, and the Pointers will come to center with it here. Peyton Hart flips it into the Yellow Jacket zone, but he didn't get the red line, and that's going to be icing. Great play by Justin Dauphiné, but the Jackets just couldn't finish.
He's comfortable holding the puck a little bit longer than anybody else, and it usually works out for him. He's able to create some great plays with that patience and poise, and he did there, making a great pass to center.
Face-off will be to Proctor's left, 2:25 to go here in the first. Shots 8-6 Stevens Point, so the Jackets have had the last 6, but the Pointers lead at 1-0. Norris for the Pointers to clear. Axel holds it in at the right point. Gets it down the boards. Now it does get cleared out. Jackets flip it back in. Eftimovsky giving chase. Center greets him behind the net. Turnover out front. Yarmolenko, a shot at Proctor with the save. Golden opportunity for Alexei Yarmolenko, but he couldn't put it home. Now behind the net. Yarmolenko's got it left wing corner. Up top at the left point, Ryder. He takes the shot that's going to go wide. Ishmael's got it right wing corner. Up top, Axel at the right point. In the middle, Ryder. That's going to hop off his stick and come to neutral ice. Ryder now over to the right wing boards where Axel's got it. He'll throw that one back into Stevens Point territory.
Yarmolenko tangles up with the goalie. Down goes Proctor.
Joshua German for the Pointers. Over to Norris. Now ahead for Shimoleski across the line. Poke checked off his stick, but Poulias holds the zone. Throws that one across. Shot to save by Grant. Puck popped in the air. I don't think he was sure where that one went, and it ended up behind the net. Joshua German at the left point. Leaps past the check of Dickerson. Save is made. They score on the rebound. On the doorstep is Fletcher Anderson again. He's got 2 in the first, and it's 2-0 Pointers.
Anderson just going hard to the net, got inside position on Frank Devorney, was able to hold him off and just tuck that puck in.
Time of that goal, 18:47. Joshua German should get one of the assists, as the Jackets got a little sloppy on the clearing attempt there. Only to have the Pointers drive hard to the net. Discussion going on at the scores table right now. I don't know what they could possibly be talking about.
I mean, there was contact with the goaltender, but there were
it's not going to be enough to reverse the call.
And it seemed like the puck was already in the crease, which usually kind of makes it free game.
Now a discussion going on with the officials at the Yellow Jacket bench. Not exactly sure what that could be about. I have no idea what they're questioning there, but at any rate, that's a tough one for the Jackets because they really were carrying the play there for a while. Nothing to show for it, and then the Pointers come right back down and make them pay. In the neutral zone, it's played ahead to the Yellow Jacket blue line. Owen Dean with a shot that goes off the blocker of Grant and over the top of the net. He seems to be fighting the puck a little bit here tonight, and I kind of wonder if coach is pondering a goalie change. If he'll do that between periods. Jackets dump it into the offensive zone. Under a minute to play here now in this first period. 2-0 Stevens Point. Chirino in the neutral zone. Loses the handle on it. Jackets able to recover. At center now, Danziger, and he'll flip it into the Pointers zone, left corner. Pettersson now up top. It's going to hop over the stick of Ryder and come all the way down. Ryder up behind his net. Plays it up the left side for Axel. Now for Kagawa. That's not going to leave the zone. Final 10 seconds of the period as the Jackets able to play it to neutral ice. Quentin Hill's going to back it up, and he's going to be content to just eat this one as the final seconds will tick off the clock here and bring the first period to a conclusion. So really good start, followed by a period of flatness, followed by a really good stretch where most of the last 10 minutes, the Yellow Jackets carrying the play there. Unfortunately, nothing to show for it but a 2-goal deficit.
Yeah, I think the Yellow Jackets probably won 6 to 8 shifts in that period and at times looked really good, but unfortunately they're down 2-0, and I think what's going to be the most disappointing to the coaching staff is for a team that hangs its hat on its defensive ability. Both of those goals against came on plays that were really poorly defended.
Great point. Great point. Yeah, the first one, I mean, nobody took the body. And then on that second one, you allowed their forward to get inside positioning. So I can tell Kobe Grant's fighting the puck a little bit. I wonder if coach is going to contemplate, one, if I make a change now, get somebody in who maybe is a little more sure of things tonight, and two, maybe spark my team a little bit.
Right, at this point, you definitely have to be looking for a spark.
2-0 Pointers after one. We're going to take a timeout and come back with our first intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. We will have our latest installment of Where Are They Now? We tried to play it twice last Saturday. It didn't work either time. So we will see if we can make it happen here. Where Are They Now? With former Yellow Jacket Tracy Dyer. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Network.
Intermission, and as always, our first intermission is sponsored by Hovland Incorporated, and it is time now for our latest installment of Where Are They Now? As we take a look back at Yellow Jackets of the past and find out where they're at now, what they're up to, and all the different things that are going on in their lives. And it's my distinct pleasure to be joined by one of my former line mates on this episode, Tracy Dyer. So Tracy, we start all these off the same way. Tell us, where is Tracy Dyer now?
Hi, Jacket fans. Hey, my name's Tracy Dyer, and I am living in Colorado, have been since the day I left University of Wisconsin Superior.
Okay, so that's interesting right off the bat there, because did you not leave and go to school someplace else? Because you were only with us for 3 years.
Correct, yeah.
So did we go to, I thought you went to school someplace else.
I transferred to Colorado State University. My career aspirations, aside from potentially being a professional hockey player, were to become an engineer, and specifically civil engineering, which wasn't offered at UWS. So I made the tough decision to continue my education beyond my hockey, and Colorado was a seemingly good fit. And as it turns out, has been a great fit for the last 25, 30 years.
Yeah, I'd say if you've been there the whole time, then yeah, the fit is like a hand in a glove, I guess. So you pursued civil engineering. We'll touch on that a little bit more in a moment. But what is your current position out there?
I'm a civil engineer, construction manager. Growing up, I worked a lot of utility projects, and that really kind of built my interest in the construction industry. And now I manage design and oversee construction of public infrastructure for the small town of Fort Collins. A lot of intersection and bridge projects that need to be either enhanced or reconstructed. So that's the majority bulk of my day is just overseeing design and construction.
at what point in life did you understand this is the path, this is what I want to do? Because you clearly came into college at Superior with an idea and you came out with exactly what you were looking for. So where in life did it hit you that this is what Tracy Dyer is going to do for a living?
Yeah, I think it probably really hit me in my late teen years. And those days we still trained for hockey in the summers and certainly lifted weights and maybe didn't get on the ice as much. But I grew up under a union electrical workers household rooftop and was kind of expected to work, and it was the first couple of projects or first couple of jobs that I had gone out and gotten on my own summer work that really kind of built that interest. And obviously, when you're that age, you're more on the labor end of it. But I always wanted to get to that kind of management or oversight of projects rather than being on the lower end of it. So that's kind of where I think it really all started.
And aside from the work life, your family keeps you busy and you're still in the hockey world.
Certainly. We've got two teenagers, a boy and a girl, 16 and 14. Our son plays AAA hockey here in Colorado, travel quite a bit for that. Our daughter played hockey up until this last year. Girls high school hockey is not quite as prevalent as it is in the Midwest, the Minnesota, Wisconsin area. Certainly, those are great environments for girls, women's sports there, and just hasn't quite caught on in Colorado. But certainly we're in it 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. But it goes by quick, and don't ever take a day for granted being at the rink.
I feel like I'm at the rink all the time as it is, and it's only going to get busier for me. Just being at my level now, it's only going to get busier. So let's talk a little bit about how you ended up in Superior.
Sure. I think everybody's path is obviously different. I grew up in Fairbanks, Alaska. We had a great group of guys and actually one girl who went on to become an Olympian. Growing up there, we were nationally competitive. I think I look around today and think we're just how lucky I was able to grow up with that group of guys. Had gone to several USA national tournaments. Eventually, kind of outgrew Fairbanks on a level from a competitive standpoint, and moved to Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, to play with a group of guys there. And collectively, that group actually ended up back in the USHO when they used to protect entire teams. Our Sault Ste. Marie team was protected by the Des Moines Buccaneers, and from there, I was recruited by Brett Klazowski to visit UW Superior, and I had the option of returning back home to Fairbanks to walk on in that program or go the D3 route, and I opted Wisconsin Superior, which I don't regret for a second. It was an incredible experience and a winning team and a great group of guys that, a handful or a dozen or more I still stay in touch with this day. So I think that's never regretted any of the path decisions that I was offered, and it's all turned out great.
Yeah, you stepped into the program at a time when it was really taking that leap, and were part of that first team that played in the national championship game. So it was an elite program at the time when you came into it, off of a national championship yourself, having won one in Des Moines.
That's right. Yeah, I think those years were extremely formidable. And looking back, the one thing that I try to pass on to my son or his teammates is it takes everybody. It takes all 20, 22, 24, 26, whatever you have on the roster. It takes everybody to be pulling in the same direction. And, even 2 or 3 that are on the same, on the same mindset can steer you off in the wrong way. So I can't explain in words how fortunate I was to land in Des Moines, which gave me the basis to have the opportunity to play in Wisconsin Superior. And then obviously the team that was recruited there, such a colorful crew, but more importantly, everybody just was in sync. And sometimes you're just lucky, I think. But incredible group to play with there.
You mentioned your hometown, Fairbanks, Alaska, and I want to ask you about a number of years ago, I believe you participated in a snowmobile race up there. So talk a little bit about that, because that seemed like quite an adventure.
Yeah, you grow up playing hockey, especially in a climate like Alaska. That's all you do is play hockey. I always like to tell people that, and this is no different than the northern parts of Minnesota or Wisconsin, that every elementary school in Fairbanks had an outdoor rink. There's 26 schools, so there was never a shortage of ice. Certainly not like today, it seems like. But my second true passion was to ride and race snow machines. And there's a snow machine race cross country. It's covers about 2,000 miles of Alaska's terrain, and it lasts 7 days. And I just thought, what an adventure that would be. It takes you to parts of the state that you've never seen, that are basically inaccessible by, either plane or boat. There's no roads. And I'm just very fortunate. I raced 3 times with my father. We've competed pretty well. Some of those folks are professional racers, and more importantly, it was just good bonding time with my dad, and certainly an experience to see all parts of the state, both the ups and downs of it. There was a few crashes, there's a few near misses, and certainly a lot of stories for to share coming back with friends and family.
How'd you finish?
Finished 10th one year. Keep in mind, this is an interesting statistic. There's usually 25 to 30 teams that enter every year, and very rarely do half of them finish. Most people, half or more of the teams scratch. So we were able to finish 10th, 12th, and then there was one year where we got tangled up with some trees, and machines wouldn't go any further. So we 2 out of 3 isn't bad for a couple of local guys that were funded out of their own pockets and not by an industry or a manufacturer.
That's former Yellow Jacket Tracy Dyer, who played her 3 seasons, again, 93 to 96, and former teammate of mine and line mate of mine in my freshman year. So good to have a chance to catch up with him. And ironically enough, his son is playing in the Twin Cities this weekend, and he had told me he was on his way up to watch the game here tonight. And I'm going, it's snowing like crazy up here, boss. I mean, maybe you want to temper that a little bit. And he goes, we're about an hour and a half out, and we're going to keep going. I live in Colorado. I'm from Alaska, so, little snow, no big deal for me.
Yeah, it's definitely passable roads, but slow and steady will win the race tonight.
Here, the Yellow Jackets trailing 2-0. And as I look across the ice, I see Jack Boschert has the goal stick now and is in front of the group. So I have to believe that the Yellow Jackets are indeed going to make a goalie change.
Yeah, like you said, a little bit of a starting goaltender who was fighting it, not seeing the puck real well, and also probably looking for a little bit of a spark for the team to see if they can undo this 2-0 deficit.
Yeah, they have, I think you used the perfect word. It was uncharacteristic. The uncharacteristic breakdowns in the first period. I mean, this is a team that traditionally doesn't give up as many goals as they've given up already tonight. They're usually in one a night range. And, one of the teams that had success, though, was Stevens Point, who scored a season-high 5 against them. Granted, that was two things to look at there. Number one, a miserable start. Absolutely miserable start in that game. But by the middle stages of the third period, the game was tied at 4. So this group is resilient. They didn't let it get to them. They just went out and played in a much more hostile environment than they have here tonight. All of that said, I thought they looked a little bit nervous early on. They're missing some plays that they haven't missed all season long, and I'm hoping that this is okay, it's done. We're down. Let's just go back to work. and see what they can come up with here in the second period.
Plenty of hockey left in this one, and as we have seen throughout the season, this is a Yellow Jacket team that can erase a deficit, that can respond, that can come back in games, and hopefully with a good crowd here at home tonight, they can get one, get a little excitement, get a little confidence back, and it'll lead to bigger things for the Yellow Jackets the rest of the way.
All of that said, next goal is huge.
Absolutely.
And if the team in purple gets it, that's a heck of a mountain you got to try to climb.
Right, yeah. If I'm wearing a gold sweater right now, the words coming out of my mouth is, hey, next one's ours, boys. Next one's ours. Next one's ours. It's got to be, you know.
Elsewhere around the WIAC, and the only other game happening right now after one period, UW Stout has a 3-1 lead over UW Eau Claire as they try to close the gap on the Blue Golds in the standings. Stout needs to sweep and win both nights in regulation if they are going to overtake UW Eau Claire for that number 4 slot in the conference standings. Jack Boschert does lead the team on the ice, so we indeed do have a goaltending change here as the Yellow Jackets are putting Jack Boschert between the pipes, the sophomore from Florissant, Missouri, making appearance number 11 on the season. He's 8-1-0, has a goals against average of 1.50 and a save percentage of .943. He made 41 saves in that game last Friday against UW Stout when he basically held the fort while the Yellow Jackets sorted through some things and tried to figure out exactly what they were going to do. So hopefully he can do the same thing again here as he'll be tasked with getting the Yellow Jackets back in this game and kind of being their backbone. And if you go back to that appearance in November, Jack started that game at Stevens Point and got pulled. You know, he gave up the first 4 goals. It was 3-1 after one, and the Pointers scored on the first shift with one of those goals that I still see, and it drives me insane that they scored that goal to make it 4-1 because it was just a miserable defensive effort for the Yellow Jackets on that one. They were able to come from behind, though, and overtake that, or draw even anyway. And let's see if they can get back to action here. They win the faceoff to start the second period. Jackets going right to left here in the middle frame. It comes up to the left point. The puck is played back down behind the Yellow Jacket net. Danzinger's got it. His pass is blocked by Chirino. Now it comes loose into the left circle. Roosevelt puts it right onto the tape of Manning at the blue line, and it's going to be played back down low. Danzinger for the Jackets, up the right wing to Roosevelt, in the middle for Dauphiné, back to Roosevelt. He's across the red line, and he'll play it in. It goes into the right corner. Stark behind the goal now for Dauphiné. He sends it up top, right point, Axel pulls, fires, and a stick save made by Proctor. On the left side now, Ryder goes behind the net for Roosevelt. It comes around to the right wing side again. Axel throws that one toward the net. It's going to go wide. On the left wing, it's Dauphiné for the Jackets. He'll carry it deep. Dauphiné along the end board now, pinned to the wall there. Gets free of the check. Dauphiné along the end boards again, being wrestled on the play, taken into the boards this time by O'Brien. In to help out down low is Roosevelt. Now he's tied up by O'Brien, spinning out of the pile, Dauphiné, hoping to get that puck to squirt free, but it doesn't. Now it comes loose. Reno tips it to the middle, and he's got it on the left wing. He sends it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Stevens Point will change personnel. Bergstrom for the Yellow Jackets ahead on the left wing for Kagawa. He's across the Stevens Point line. Couldn't quite handle the pass, and Evan Junker has it now for the Pointers. He'll leave it behind the net where it's taken by Joshua German. It comes out by ice, and it's going to be knocked out of the air by Francois. Francois with a blast, and the save is made by Proctor, and then that one goes up into the netting.
I don't think that ever got through to Proctor.
Did it get blocked?
I think it hit Anderson. I think that's what knocked him down.
Wow.
He got just blasted.
Yeah, he was on the business end of that one.
He was just cutting through, staying with his man, and ended up taking that slap shot full on.
Well, Francois knocked it out of the air and bounced off Kagawa and came right back to him. Had that thing on a tee, and he got all of it. Junker behind his own net for the Pointers. Gives it over to German, and he'll flip that off the left wing side all the way down. Chasing it down for the Jackets to Vorney. He'll leave it for Bergstrom. Bergstrom mishandles. Now Bergstrom gets it back, mishandles again. Is able to catch up to it, feed it up the left side for Pettersson. Pettersson tips it into the Stevens Point zone. Joshua German here for the Pointers, comes right back. His pass intercepted. Yellow Jackets turn it right back over. Fletcher Anderson across the line, takes a shot. It's deflected wide of the net. Anderson puts that one up to the line. Now he's got it back left side. Anderson all the way up to the blue line, throws it down to the right wing corner. Crazy hop off the boards as that one was coming back toward the front of the net. Pedersen interfered with, and that's going to be a penalty. They're going to get him for interference as he stepped into Colin Pedersen. Tyler German pleading his case, but the puck nowhere near Pedersen when he upended him, and it's going to be a power play for the Yellow Jackets.
German tried to disguise it as best he could, but I think the right call made there. See if the Yellow Jackets can make a little hay on this power play.
2:31 the time of the penalty on German for interference. Power play for the Yellow Jackets, their second. 0 for 1. No shots on that power play in the first. Neither team charting a shot on the power play in period number 1.
Jackets had a lot of zone time, just did a lot of passing and not enough shooting.
Pointers control it, and they're going to clear it out to neutral ice. Knocked down there by Dvorny on the left wing. Over to Kagawa. He has to wait for Rasmussen to get onside. Then he flips it down into the right wing corner. Pedersen in there, Francois as well as they jockey for position. The puck comes free. Francois got it. He goes it up to the line for Dvorny. Frank Dvorny, right circle. Waits it out, gives it to the right corner for Kagawa. He tried to center for Rasmussen, sneaking down from the left circle, but the Pointers get a stick on that. And it's going to come all the way down the ice.
Would have liked to have seen Dvorny take more advantage of the Stevens Point player falling to the ice there. He didn't really press the attack enough.
Stark at center. Crosses the Stevens Point line on the left wing and carries down to the corner. Now he's going to hit the brakes and put it up top. Left point Ryder. Over to the right point for Holmes, but that pass comes out into the neutral zone. The Yellow Jackets forced to regroup. Under a minute to go in the power play here. As the Yellow Jackets dump it in. Junker's going to go to clear and get that past Tyler Ryder. It comes all the way down the ice. Boschert out of the net. He'll leave it behind the goal. Ryder comes out with it here. 40 to go in the power play as Ryder comes through center and flips it into the right wing corner. Roosevelt gets there. O'Brien ties him up. Dauphiné in to help out. Stark in there as well. Stark up top. Holmes at the right point. Left point. Ryder takes the shot. Pad save made. Proctor. Rebound picked up by Manning, and he'll clear. Holmes pass to nobody. Intercepted by Manning, and he'll send it the distance. Jackets will be forced to go 200 feet as Ryder comes up the left side with it here. At center now, Dauphiné. Gets his pocket picked by Shimolevsky on the back check. Didn't know he was coming. Pointers clear it ahead. Poulias has it at center. Final seconds tick off the penalty. Jackets 0 for 2 on the power play here as Setter comes up the right wing. Setter into the Stevens Point zone. Bats it down to the left corner. Yarmolnik gets there. Now Setter behind. Tried to center, but he fans on the pass. Eventually does get the puck out front, but Shimolevsky intercepts for Stevens Point. Nico Shimolevsky across the red line. Dumps it in. Chirino taken into the boards in the right corner. Now the puck comes up to the blue line. Norris backhands it to Chirino. He's knocked off the play by Setter. Puck comes to the slot, and the Jackets back the other way, 2-on-1 if they hurry now. Ishmael across the line. He pulled up in the right circle, then his pass or shot got deflected wide, and the puck ends up on the back of the Stevens Point cage. I understand wanting to slow down there and kind of open up a little bit and see what you got going, but at the same time, it's like you got a lane here, get the shot.
Right.
You're not generating a lot of offense here so far. Take that shot when you have the opportunity.
Yeah, you don't want to pass up too many of those. Only 10 shots on goal thus far for the Yellow Jackets. Good to see that they did generate a couple on that power play.
Alex Proctor doing some housekeeping on his equipment. Everything is good now. Face off to his left. 14:48 to go here in the second. 2-0 Pointers. Norris has it now behind his own goal for Stevens Point. He'll pass that one ahead. Now from the right wing, the pass for Engelbert comes all the way down. Icing waved off for some reason. And now the Jackets, Holmes comes out with it here. He'll flip that ahead to center. Nickerson gloves it down. Nickerson pulls up on the left wing boards, throws that one across the right side. Rasmussen, his shot from a sharp angle. It's going to be swallowed up by Proctor. He'll hold on to it. And we're going to get a face-off here, once again in Stevens Point territory.
Jackets have shuffled their defensive pairings here a bit in the second period as well. Holmes now paired with Danziger. That's been the case for the first 5.5 minutes of this frame.
Rasmussen to take the face-off with Peyton Hart. It's controlled by the Pointers. Now up the right wing, Tyler German. Crosses the Yellow Jacket line, carries deep, throws that one in toward the net. It goes off the, I thought I heard iron, so it might have hit the outside of the post. Now Hamady throws it into the slot. A shot from the left circle. Taken there by Peyton Hart, is stopped by Boschert. He'll deflect that up into the netting. And we'll get a face-off here in the Yellow Jacket zone.
Calmly steered into the corner netting by Boschert.
Same two teams tomorrow night here at Westman Arena. 7:05 face-off, 6:30 pregame show. It's going to be a busy one on campus tomorrow. It will include a sports triple header on KUWS and Yellow Jacket TV. More on that later on in the broadcast. Jackets able to clear that one out to center. It's going to come all the way down. Will result in an icing call.
Just missed banking that one off the glass and on goal by about a foot and a half there. As it is, it'll be icing. Another defensive zone face-off coming to the right of Jack Boschert.
My Fitbit is going off telling me I'm exercising right now because I've shuffled my feet so much I thought I was actually out for a walk or something. Pointers controlling the face-off. Josh German plays it down to the corner for Tyler German. Now back up to Joshua German. He'll leave it for Tyler German. Down low, the puck bumps behind the Yellow Jacket net. Peyton Hart now right corner. Leaves it behind the goal. Jackets able to break that one up, and Kagawa will chip it out into the neutral zone. Tyler German backing it up into his own zone. Over to the left side for Junker, who whiffed on the clearing pass. Jackets intercept, but then don't get it deep. And Tyler German back the other way. He crosses the Yellow Jacket line. He throws it behind the net. It's off the stick of Hamady there. Taken by Evan Axel, and he'll flip it out to center. Bouncing puck knocked down there by the Pointers and played over to the right wing for Manning. He passes it around Dauphiné, and Hamady dumps it in. Boschert out of the net, sends it up the left wing. Kagawa, who's been on the ice for quite a while, got it ahead to Dauphiné, but that one broken up. Comes back down behind the Yellow Jacket net. Ryder, his pass broken up again. It comes up the slot. Jackets get it back with Roosevelt. Roosevelt gets it poked off his stick. Kagawa stays with it. Now Roosevelt again takes the shot. That's going to be deflected wide. Shimolevsky to clear. Dauphiné holds the zone. Dauphiné in the left wing corner. Spins off of a check. Gets away from trouble now. Carries behind the Stevens Point net. Wraparound attempt in front, and that one's going to go off Proctor and come right up the middle. Shimolevsky back the other way. Nico Shimolevsky across the Yellow Jacket line over to Anderson, top of the left circle, and his one-timer gloved by Boschert. He'll hang on, and we're going to get a face-off here in the Yellow Jacket zone.
That centering play by Dauphiné almost ended up on the stick of a very well-rested Stark, who had just come over the boards for Kagawa, but instead it got redirected.
Pointers control the face-off here. They throw it down low. It comes behind the net now, taken by Bergstrom. He'll flip that one out to neutral ice. Eftimovsky knocks it down. Jackets get it back. Roosevelt tried to tip it in front for Stark, but couldn't get a stick on it. Now back the other way. Matthew Falls. Jackets with the steal at the line. Bergstrom tried to move it ahead looking for Roosevelt, but that pass is blocked. It comes back down behind the Yellow Jacket net. Dvorny wraps it around the left side. Clearing attempt by Stark, held in by Eftimovsky at the right point. Now the puck tied up along the inboards here. Bergstrom picks it up, and he'll start it back the other way. That pass is behind Stark, and it's going to come all the way down and be an icing call. And a face-off coming back here in the Yellow Jacket zone. And again, there's another one of those plays where most of the season they've been able to connect on that, but tonight they just don't have that sharpness.
Yeah, that does not need to end up as a defensive zone face-off. At the very least, you can put it on the right side of the forward so he can get a piece of it and tip it in. Just not connecting so far tonight.
In the left wing corner now, Chirino for the Pointers. Knocked off the play by Ishmael. Ishmael's got it here, and he'll bank it off the right wing boards and in. Jackets will have to change quickly here as the Pointers transition. Dvorny steps up, breaks up the play beautifully now, and starts center back the other way. But Junker just gets a stick on it and was able to break that play up. Now back the other way come the Pointers. Junker at center. He gets flattened, and that's going to be a penalty. Yarmolnik took him down in a dangerous position. How many minutes is this going to be? because he was a very dangerous distance from the boards. And is this a check from behind? Is this a boarding call? We'll have to wait and see. 2 minutes for boarding is going to be the call. 8:43 of the second period is the time.
Yeah, not a necessary penalty there. It's good to finish the check, but sometimes you have to recognize when you don't need to finish it, and that was one of those situations.
So Yarmolnik for a boarding call at 8:43, second power play for the Pointers. Jackets on the kill have Francois and Pedersen up front. Holmes and Danziger on defense. Chirino now left circle, gives it down low. It comes quickly behind the net. Shot taken from the right circle by Anderson, and that one caught the post, I believe. Good puck movement by the Pointers here. Poulias on the left board, sends that one up top. Crossed up Shimilevsky a little bit, and that's going to come all the way back into Stevens Point territory. Francois pestering him, knocks him down, but he somehow maintains control of the puck. And a penalty coming on Francois as he upended Chirino. There seemed to be a little embellishment there, but at any rate, it's going to be a 5-on-3.
I think that's exactly what Francois is yelling at Chirino right now as he skates by him on his way to the penalty box.
9:28 the time of that penalty on Matt Francois. I mean, I'm not disputing it was a trip.
Right. Yep.
You know, but the height he got on that trip was pretty impressive.
Yeah, he made sure that everybody saw it, that's for sure.
So 5-on-3 for the next buck and a quarter, or a minute 25, I should say. Jackets got some work to do here on this PK. Rasmussen the forward, Bergstrom and Ryder the defense, and that's going to take care of one of them as Rasmussen got taken down by Peyton Hart. And now there's going to be even more room.
Incidental trip here, but a trip nonetheless.
9:42 the time of that one. Peyton Hart going to the box. Good thing they got the scoreboard fixed. Okay, never mind. It's not fixed. Okay. So Peyton Hart to the box for a trip at 9:42. So we 4-on-3 here for a minute and 11. Then we'll briefly play 4-on-4 before the Jackets get 13 seconds of power play. Chirino to center. Crosses the Yellow Jacket line, throws it across for Fletcher Anderson. Anderson now will slow it down, has it on the right wing boards. Throws it into the high slot for Shimilevsky. Back up top for Anderson. Over to the left circle, the one-timer, they score. Power play goal for Poulias. And it's 3-0 Pointers.
Not sure if Poulias actually got all of that shot or not, but
he got everything he needed.
He put it in the exact right spot.
For Poulias, that's his 12th. Anderson should get one of the assists. We'll wait on the second one, but 10:05 the time of that power play goal.
And as we talked about, that one needed to be a Yellow Jackets goal.
That's a real deflator. That's a real deflator. Because now the mountain they have to climb is significant here.
Starts with losing a face-off in the offensive zone, which was a theme in the first period as well. Stevens Point ended that period with a 9-5 edge in face-offs and had an easy win in the defensive zone, and then brought it up the ice and got set up with that 4-on-3 and took full advantage of it.
It's going to be Poulias his 12th from Fletcher, Anderson, and Shimilevsky to make it 3-0. Now we're 4-on-4 here. I wonder if the Jackets realize it's 4-on-4 right now. They absolutely have to get the next one now.
Yes.
Mosier for Stevens Point. Plays it behind his net for Junker. Junker now ahead. Owen Dean across the Yellow Jacket line, left circle, a shot. Save Boschert. Rebound ends up behind. Engelbert centers. Jackets running around a little bit here again. Do they realize it's 4-on-4? They don't have to be backing off this much. Right wing corner, Yellow Jacket zone.
He got an assist from number 16, Fletcher Anderson, and at number 11.
We were right on that. It was Shimilevsky and Anderson on the assists. 30 seconds to go in the 4-on-4 as Mosier carries it to center, gives to Poulias on the right side. Poulias carries right corner, centering pass out front, a shot. That one just misses wide as Shimilevsky was unguarded coming down the slot. Now Shimilevsky comes out of the right wing corner, throws that one across, but it gets blocked. Shimilevsky still has the puck. Finally, Kagawa with the steal. He'll curl it back and he'll start up ice. Kagawa across the center line into Stevens Point territory. A rising shot gloved by Proctor. He'll hang on to it with 1 second left in the minor penalty to Matt Francois. 15 seconds left in the minor penalty to Peyton Hart. 8:32 to go here in this second period. It's 3-0 Pointers. Pointers kind of showing the Jackets who's boss here right now.
Yeah, they've played a good game, taking advantage of their opportunities, skate well.
Jackets on the power play here officially for the third time. Currently at 0 for 2 as they dump it in. The puck is behind the Pointer net. And Chirino will start it up ice on the right wing. Power play has expired, so we're back to 5 skaters apiece as Dvorny breaks up the rush and sends it over to the right wing, Nickerson. He'll dump it in. It comes down into the right wing corner. Picked up there by Norris for Stevens Point. Norris now gets it out into the neutral zone as we pass the 12-minute mark of the second period. 3-0 Pointers. Norris behind the net. His pass picked off by Ishmael, then he goes to clear and doesn't get it out. Manning holds it in easily at the right point. Chirino behind the net. Up top, right point, Manning. Over to the left point now, O'Brien. His shot blocked. Nickerson goes to clear. That's not going to go. O'Brien gets it back. Dean sends it down low. Chirino in the left corner. Tied up by Axel. Axel loses the lumber. Got to be careful there. Both players lose the lumber, apparently. Somebody with a stick get in there, please. Finally, Rasmussen's going to dig it loose, and he'll flip that out. It's going to come the distance, but beyond goal. Icing will be waved off. Proctor passes that one ahead for Quentin Hill, and he'll leave it for Manning. Manning across the line. Drop pass falls, whiffs on the one-timer. Stark knocks Falls to the ice and moves it ahead now. Rasmussen tips it to center Roosevelt. Roosevelt, who opened the scoring for the Yellow Jackets when they were down 3-0 at Stevens Point, cycles it behind the Pointer goal. Stark's got it there. Now he's tied up. Roosevelt digging it out. O'Brien in the right wing corner. Kicks it up the boards. Hart to clear, not out as Bergstrom holds the zone, and he'll drive it down low. Puck's going to be played around again. Held in by Ryder momentarily at the left point. Dauphin able to get a stick on it and send it down low. Dauphin now behind the net. Centering pass broken up by Proctor. Clearing attempt gets to the line, not out. Held in there nicely by Bergstrom to Stark in the right wing corner. Stark sends it up top. Ishmael walks it, stick handles, takes the shot, it's blocked. Now over to the right circle for Stark, down low for Dauphin. Dauphin back over to Ishmael in the right wing corner. Then he's tied up along the wall. Stark gets it behind the net for Dauphin. Dauphin for Stark. Stark works it back to the right corner for Dauphin. 6 minutes to play, second period, 3-0 Pointers. In the high slot, Stark up top to the line. Bergstrom holds, then has his shot blocked. And the Pointers, Bunting has it on the right wing now. He'll tip it ahead, and Quentin Hill will flip it in. Boschert gloves that one down. At center. Ryder pushes it into Stevens Point territory. Behind the net now, Yermolnik's got it. Alexei Yermolnik, right wing corner. Cycles it back down low. It hits the referee's skate and comes right to center. Then he's tied up. Now behind the net. It comes over to the left wing side. Yermolnik giving chase. Back behind the net for Setter. Junker's got it for Stevens Point. He clears. And Hamady sends that one ahead. Shot taken from the left circle. The save made by Boschert. And that'll go off his shoulder up into the netting. So one of the things I've kind of noticed here is during this unbeaten streak that the Jackets are on, which is clearly in peril at this point, is they've, for the most part, have been elite on the boards. They've won the board battles here. Stevens Point is kind of taking that game to the Yellow Jackets a little bit and shoving it right back in their face, because Stevens Point is winning a lot of board battles here today.
Yeah, the Pointers have definitely been the Jackets' match in that capacity in this game, working just as hard and, like you said, winning at least half of those battles and really not letting it be a huge strength or a huge piece of advantage for the Yellow Jackets in this one. Yeah, Stevens Point has just played a really fantastic game. I think their coaching staff would probably point to a handful of shifts maybe that were not so good, but overall the Pointers have been really excellent tonight. Clearly the better team through slightly more than half of this one.
Yeah, the Yellow Jackets, I think, have done a really nice job of having those handful of shifts, like you said, where they've been able to generate something. But you're 5 minutes to go here in the second period. You're looking at 12 shots on net so far. You're looking at only 22 shots attempted, which conversely, Stevens Point has attempted 29. So it's not like it's a huge disadvantage, but for the amount of offensive zone time the Yellow Jackets have had tonight, they're not generating anything.
Right, they don't have much to show for it.
And there haven't been a ton of high danger chances in there either. Face-off will be to Boschert's right with 5:07 to go here in this second period. Shots 18-12 Pointers. They lead 3-0. Jackets win the draw and clear. It's poke checked away from Nickerson and comes back down into Yellow Jacket territory. Rasmussen on the backhand lifts it over everyone. That's going to come all the way down. Eftimovsky behind the net, flushed out by Riddle. Now Poulias, who has the most recent goal, hits it on the right wing and clears it out into the neutral zone. Yellow Jackets, Danziger ahead on the right wing for Nickerson, but he's got nowhere he can go. And it's going to be dumped back down into the Yellow Jacket zone. Behind the net here, this is Holmes. He'll sidesteps one check and then has it poke checked off his stick. Fletcher Anderson leaves it for Poulias. A shot blocker saved by Boschert. Bouncing puck into the slot, comes right back to Poulias. Now Junker takes the shot. Jackets blocked that one, and it's got enough on it to come out into the neutral zone. Jackets kind of trapped here, however. They need to get some fresh troops on the ice. Nickerson's got it there. His pass out of the reach of Rasmussen. And the Pointers here are going to come right back on the attack. Chirino up the right wing. Tips it down into the right corner. Jackets get it back. Holmes' pass is going to be deflected, and the Pointers will hold the zone. Engelbert on the right wing. Loses the puck there. Devornay has got it now, and he'll go off the glass on the left side out to neutral ice. Engelbert now knocked off the play. Puck was free for a moment, but Manning gets it back for Stevens Point. He'll clear to neutral ice. Glove down there by Devornay. He dumps it in. Knocked down right at the top of the circles by the Pointers. That's the other thing the Jackets haven't done a good job of is getting that puck deep. And this time it will come back in and come to rest on the back of the cage. And we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone. Haven't seen that all year, and it's happened twice here in 2 periods.
Yeah, and also a tough night for the Yellow Jacket defensemen tonight, just in both facets of the game. Obviously defending in their own zone. We talked earlier about some of the breakdowns that allowed the first 2 Pointers goals, but even just in their ability to exit the zone and connect on those passes, it's just been plenty of blame to go around tonight, but tough night for a defense crew that we've been able to compliment so often all season long. Tonight hasn't been their night.
Quick shot off the face-off by Kagawa, sticked away by Proctor. Now a steal by Kagawa, left circle, feeds that one out front for Francois, and it goes between the skates. Again, I know what he was trying to do there, but I'd rather see him use the shooting lane and take the shot.
And I think Francois was probably expecting him to take the shot.
You're forcing your forward to completely spin around and try to make a play on that puck, where he's probably better suited going after the rebound.
But it's a goal if he connects. Like, right. If the guy catches the pass, he's got a wide open net, but yeah.
In his own zone now, Kagawa for the Jackets lifts it out into the neutral zone. Pointers will regain control there and send it back ahead on the right wing. It gets past Falls. That's going to come all the way down and will result in icing and a face-off coming back here in the Stevens Point zone.
And if you're a line mate with Iki Kagawa, he's a guy where you know you have to expect the unexpected.
Right.
You know, and you have to play with that in mind, where some guys just really ham and egger. You know exactly what you're going to get from him. You know that he's capable of making some really unusual plays, so you have to be ready for that at all times.
Face-off is to the right of Proctor. Pointers win the draw. Eftimovsky's over to the left wing side. That'll be dumped down into Yellow Jacket territory. Ryder ties up with Falls, excuse me. Now Dauphiné scoops up the loose puck, and the Jackets come back the other way. Roosevelt right wing. Roosevelt right circle. Has stick handled a little bit, then lost it. That's where being on your off wing didn't work for him. If he's on his forehand, he can at least get a shot away. Behind the Stevens Point net, Roosevelt's pass picked off. Doppany gets away with a trip there. And the Pointers will clear it out to neutral. Norris feeds it into the middle here for Peyton Hart, but that one broken up by Stark, who then puts it right on the tape of Tyler German. Now a centering feed is going to go off the stick of Stark and trickle into Boschert. He'll cover. And we're going to get a face-off in the Yellow Jacket zone. And honestly, this mirrors the first two periods from last Friday. It really does. The difference being the Jackets are a little more assertive tonight and have a few more shots on goal than they had at that point last week, but it kind of looks that it's very similar.
And now you start to question whether there's any belief in this team that they can come back and win this game. Like you said, they really need the next goal to actually light a fire and help them believe that they have a chance to come back and make this competitive, as opposed to just saying, well, here we are, I guess we're going to have to come back and be better tomorrow night.
Under 2 minutes to go now here in the second period. Holmes sends that one up the left side. Riddle over to the right wing. Into the Stevens Point zone. It's Ishmael. He carries behind the net, has the puck knocked off his stick. Cleared to the line. Holmes able to hold it in at the left point. Sidesteps a check and then lost it. And that's going to come back to the Yellow Jacket blue line. Carson Riddle picks up speed to center. Stick handles around one man. Riddle into the Stevens Point zone. Left circle a shot. And that's deflected by Junker. And we'll go up over the glass and out of play. Block number 9 of the game for Stevens Point.
Talk about players who drag a team into the fight. The Jackets need a goal that's going to drag them into this fight right now.
Kagawa has it here. Kagawa in the high slot. Feeds it over Bergstrom. A quick shot from the right point. That one deflected wide. Proctor never saw that. And then takes a crazy hop off the boards, and the Pointers are able to clear. In the neutral zone here now. Pedersen feeds to the middle. Kagawa. Kagawa now right circle. Kagawa fires. The save is made. The rebound is right there. And the Yellow Jackets over pursue. And the Pointers are going to come back the other way with Manning across the line. Manning, a drop pass. Yellow Jackets break that one up. Francois got it here. He'll pass it ahead on the right wing. Kagawa across the Stevens Point line. He'll give it down low for Bergstrom. Bergstrom tied up along the end boards. Gets the puck back. Now he loses the handle on it. Manning on the left wing. Tips that one out to the neutral zone. Jackets get it back with Bergstrom. Nifty pass for Roosevelt right side. Roosevelt right circle takes the shot. That one's blocked. Now in the right wing corner, Stark. Up top, it's going to hop the stick of Evan Axel and come back out into the neutral zone. Boy, we've seen that a lot. On the left side, Ryder plays it toward the net. Stark was breaking for the net. That was the right play by Tyler Ryder. But unfortunately, it ends up in the glove of Alex Proctor, and he'll hold on. Face-off coming with 11.3 seconds remaining in the second period.
Great chance there for the Yellow Jackets. We talked about not a lot of high danger chances, but finally got one there courtesy of Vicky Kagawa. See if they can build on that.
Yeah, clearly the best chance of the hockey game right there. 11.3 seconds to go of the period. Face-off to the right of Proctor. Dauphiné will take it, but the Pointers win it. And they're going to clear that one out into the neutral zone. It'll come the distance. Axel chases it down. Sidesteps the check of Shimolevsky as the buzzer sounds, bringing the second period to a close. Not a little better period, I think, maybe.
Well, they only gave up one goal. So statistically, you're absolutely accurate. And the one goal came on a 4-on-3 on a perfect shot, tucked into a coffee can into the top corner on a one-timer. So in that sense, they played a relatively even period there, but like we talked about, they really needed that next goal, and unfortunately, Stevens Point got it. And it's a pretty tall hill to climb at this point in the third period.
Yeah, it really is. It's, again, you're playing one of the top 4 offensive teams in Division III hockey, so this is not a tiny hill that the Yellow Jackets have to climb, but at the same time, they just gotta chip away. Get the first one, because if they can find a way to score the first goal in this third period, then anything can happen after that point.
Right.
3-0 Stevens Point after 2. We'll take a break and come back with our second intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated, right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Network. Spin Arena. It's our second intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated, and the Yellow Jackets find themselves a little bit of a hole they have to dig out of as they trail Stevens Point 3-0 after 40 minutes of play. 2-0 Pointers after the first period. Fletcher Anderson scoring twice, once at 9:20 when nobody in a gold sweater decided they wanted to lay a finger on him, and he just weaved through traffic, sidestepped everybody, and goes glove side to make it 1-0. And then at 18:47, he got inside positioning on the Yellow Jacket D and hammered one home for his second of the game, 11th of the year. That made it 2-0 Pointers after one. Then in the second period on the power play at 10:05, Andrew Poulias scoring his 12th goal of the season. Fletcher Anderson and Nico Shimilevsky got the assists. And it is a 3-0 lead for the Pointers. That was a 4-on-3 power play, as Jason mentioned before we went to the break. 3-point night so far for Fletcher Anderson, 2 assists for Nico Shimilevsky. And the other thing I'm looking at here, Jason, is their big players have showed up tonight. And we have not really heard a lot out of Reed Stark and Justin Dauphiné, aside from maybe some work along the boards and things like that, or the odd opportunity. The Yellow Jacket big guys haven't been the big guys so far.
Yeah, that first line for Stevens Point has accounted for every point in this game so far. So definitely a big night thus far for that group. And on the UWS side, hasn't necessarily been for a lack of effort. I mean,
I think the effort's absolutely there.
They've been trying. They've been working hard, but nothing to show for it so far for anybody in a gold sweater, let alone the top scoring players. And I guess credit to Stevens Point. They've done a good job in pretty much every facet of the game. They've made UWS had to earn every inch of ice, every passing lane, every shooting lane all the way tonight.
Yeah, and we talked about that a little bit in the pregame show here too. I mean, yes, the Yellow Jackets have been on a roll here. They haven't lost since November, and that's awesome. But this is probably the stiffest test they've seen since the last time they played Stevens Point. So this is they're one of the best teams in the country for a reason. And you knew this was going to be a difficult game, and they have had the ability to basically take the Yellow Jacket game and shove it right back down their throat. And it's paid dividends for them.
Yeah, so far tonight has been Stevens Point night. We'll see what Jackets can come up with in the third. But if they don't come up with something in the third, it's going to be, well, see what we can come up with tomorrow night.
Shots on goal in the second period. Stevens Point had 7 for a 2-period total of 19. Yellow Jackets also had 7 for a 2-period total of 14. Penalties in the game so far. Each team has been whistled 3 times for 6 minutes. Jackets 0 for 3 on the power play. Only one of those is only for 13 seconds. And Stevens Point is 1 for 3 with the man advantage. And I didn't look. What were the power play shots in the second? Or where are we at here? So Stevens Point has 2 shots on the power play so far. The Yellow Jackets have 1. Credit to the Jacket penalty kill there, obviously, because coming into the game, Stevens Point 28.1% on the power play. I mean, this is a team that knows how to score when they have an extra man or 2, as we've seen here tonight. The PK has done a pretty darn good job limiting those opportunities.
Yes, they have. And the one goal that they did score was on a 4-on-3, and definitely looked like a team that you didn't want to give any more 4-on-3s to. They were pretty competent. Looked like they knew exactly what they were trying to do, set it up, and only needed one chance to do it on that one-timer from the circle.
Yeah, and even before they went to the 5-on-3, they won that face-off to start that power play, and it was point, corner, slot, shot. It was that quick. And so I don't know if you watch some film and you see a little something in the Yellow Jacket penalty kill and go, okay, we can exploit it right here, or this is just how quickly we're going to move it, and we'll see if they can catch up.
Right, and it's been a real contrast. I mean, you can see that Stevens Point is really good on the power play. Just the whole night, even when they haven't scored, just the way they move the puck, they create good chances. Even just coming up through the neutral zone, they've got a plan. They execute it. They get that zone entry. They look pretty solid.
They look very, very solid, and we knew they were going to be. So they've got the 3-0 lead after 2. And the Yellow Jackets have some work to do here in this one to climb their way back in. But the saving grace, again, is this is a team that has been resilient for the most part. It got a little harder and then when they went through that second period without scoring a goal. It's 2 Fridays in a row where they didn't score through the first 40 minutes. And hopefully they can find a way to pop 1, 2, and 3 while keeping the pointers off the board here heading into the third. 3-0 Stevens Point after 2. We'll take a break and come back with more of our second intermission sponsored by Hovland Incorporated right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Network. Here at Westman Arena, it's our second intermission sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. Yellow Jackets trailing the Pointers 3-0. Elsewhere in the WIAC, after 40 minutes of play in Eau Claire, Stout has a 3-2 lead over the Blue Golds as they are jockeying for 4th and 5th place in the WIAC. Still, the only thing we know for sure is Northland is the 6th seed, and that Superior and Stevens Point will be the 1 and 2, and who ends up doing what, we don't know yet. Everything else is still very much up in the air. And we won't know until probably 9 p.m. tomorrow what everything is going to look like. But 3-2, Stout has the lead over UW Eau Claire after 40 minutes of play in that one. Tomorrow, big day on the UW Superior campus. Track and field is home for the Midday Classic at the Lydia Thering Fieldhouse. That will get underway at 11 a.m. Then Yellow Jacket men's basketball is home tomorrow. A 3 o'clock opening tip against Bethany Lutheran. Yellow Jackets, Bethany Lutheran, and North Central all tied for first place in the conference with 8-3 conference marks. So the Yellow Jackets won the first meeting of the season between the two, and hopefully they can sweep the season series and get a little bit of separation atop the UMAC. Following that game will be the Yellow Jacket women at home against Bethany Lutheran. Jackets with a one-game lead over Bethany Lutheran and Northwestern on the women's side, and so they are sitting in first place in the conference. They won the first meeting of the season on the Elise Bessinen buzzer beater down in Mankato, and they are now hoping to get a little bit of separation in their standings as well, as they have 3 conference games to go, I believe. I think it's 3 to go after, or including tomorrow, so things shutting down in the Upper Midwest Athletic Conference, and they're all jockeying for playoff position. And then we close the thing out tomorrow here at Westman Arena, the regular season finale between the Yellow Jackets and the Pointers in a game that could have a lot more meaning if you're a Yellow Jacket fan, because if they don't win this one here tonight, they fall into a tie for first place, technically into second place because Stevens Point will have the tiebreaker. And then if you want to win a conference title and put a banner up, you've got to win. So you've gone from being in the driver's seat to must win.
And what are all of the various ways that can play out? Is that must win in regulation, must win in...
No.
How does it work?
It's just a win of any kind.
Okay, a win of any kind.
In the 2 games this weekend, it's a win of any kind. It can be regulation, overtime, or shootout. They just need a win of any type in one of these 2 games. Okay. So technically, I guess you could still say they were in the driver's seat, but they both teams, I guess, control their own destiny.
Sure.
In that, once the dust settles here tonight. So still a lot to play for. Still a lot of hockey here tonight. I mean, we've seen the Yellow Jackets score goals 3 in a period before. Unfortunately, it hasn't been against a team as good as UW Stevens Point. So they've got their work cut out for them. There's no doubt about that. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll come back with more of our second intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. The mailbag we're going to try to do last week that we didn't get a chance to do. We'll fire some of those things off here in the remainder of intermission number 2. 3-0 Stevens Point after 40. We'll take a break and come right back. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Network. At Westman Arena, it's our second intermission sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. Yellow Jackets trailing Stevens Point 3-0 after 40 minutes of play. Got an opportunity to hit the mailbag here and answer a couple of questions. We might as well go with the guy who sponsors the intermission. Lon Hovland sent me when is the last time they were in the Frozen Four? Got to go all the way back to 2002 when they won the thing. That is it seems like there would have been a trip or two in there after that, but the last time that they were in the Frozen Four was 2002. And that was the tail end of that. That was the 8 times in 9 seasons where they went. They were at 93 through 97 and then 99 through 02. So you had 8 times in 9 years that they went to a Frozen Four. And unfortunately, haven't been back since. So 23 seasons.
I had so much more hair back then.
Oh, I did too. I used the comb. I used the comb back then.
Good question, Lon.
Good question, Lon. Bryce wants to know, when was the last time a Yellow Jacket men's hockey team was ranked in the top 10? 2020. 2019, 2020, they got as high as 10 on U.S. College Hockey Online, and that was it. Then things kind of collapsed. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, you and I did. That year they closed the season 2-6. So they had a really good stretch going there. They had a great start to the season. And had a really good stretch going, but then they faded down the stretch, went 2-6, and fell out of the top 10. Then we didn't see them get ranked again until this season. So that's the last time they were ranked. Last time they made it into the top 10 was 2020. You know Dave Wright?
Yes,
the voice of the state hockey tournament. Yes. He asked his tongue-in-cheek question of if I miss calling games from Oscar Johnson Arena. No. And I know you're not listening, Dave. I really wish you were, but no. Because that was, I talked about that a couple weeks ago. Is probably one of my 5 least favorite rinks that I ever did games from. It was more of a blanket statement that basically anywhere Hamlin played prior to Tria, I had problems with. Oscar Johnson was probably the second coldest rink I've ever called a game from. The first was Drake Arena, where Hamlin had played previously. But Oscar Johnson was cold, and you were stationed at one end of the rink, and the only place I could get a signal out was at the top of the stairs. So I'm standing on a stairwell, and you're kind of half in the mezzanine area and half out, but the mezzanine area doesn't do you any good because there's no windows. It was just wood. So you really had a difficult time calling games from that location there. And there was, where I was stationed up there, I had to makeshift a table with a recycling bin and some sheetrock that was left over. So that's how I built my broadcast station there.
Nice work, MacGyver.
I know. And then there's no power up there, so I had to dangle extension cord down to the bottom of the steps, and there was only one outlet, and I had to share it with the skate sharpener. So put the power strip in, plug into that and everything. And then, of course, game ends, you didn't play well, you lose a game down there, and they just pull the plug. And I'm off air.
We're done.
In the middle of the post-game show, and I'm like, you know what? I've had it. Forget it. I'm not going back on the air. But the other funny thing is, at that time, it was an every other year thing. So we were at Oscar Johnson, then we played here, then we were back at Oscar Johnson. My makeshift table was still set up.
Nice.
2 years later. So broadcasters everywhere, you're welcome. All right, fresh 20 minutes on the clock. Jack Boschert defending the goal to our left. Jackets got some work to do here in this final 20. And we start with the opening face-off win by Stevens Point. O'Brien now over for Manning. He'll start up the right side. He gets a lane and he'll dump it in. It's going to come around behind the Yellow Jacket net. Chirino picks it up left side. Danziger takes him into the boards. Puck gets caught up along the end boards, almost like it got stuck in the water down there. Pointers are able to get it out as Chirino carries up the boards. Dauphiné with the steal, and he'll clear. Puck's going to come all the way back down into Stevens Point territory. O'Brien's got it there. Roosevelt takes him down. Play continuing on. Okay. Maybe it was more of a blowing a tire than it was a trip. Now Dauphiné's got it. Dauphiné along the end boards, carries to the right wing corner. Dauphiné up the right boards, down the wall now for Roosevelt. Roosevelt tied up by O'Brien. Stark gets in there, digging away. It's in his skates now as he's pinned to the boards. Engelbert's got him against the wall. He worked it free. Danziger just kind of stood back and let that thing come into the circle. Didn't go after it. Pointer's able to recover the puck. They send it over to the right side, and Manning is going to carry it to neutral. Jackets broke it up. Now Chirino's got it. Chirino knocked off the play by Blake Holmes. Danziger picks up the loose puck. Up the left side for Dauphiné. Throws it rink wide. That's picked off. Pointers come across the line. Poulias with a shot, and the save is made by Boschert. He'll hold on. And we'll get a face-off here in Yellow Jacket territory. 18:38 to go, third period. 3-0 Pointers.
The grinding style continues along the boards. Tough battle for every puck and every inch in the attacking zones tonight.
Josh German for the Pointers. Over to Fletcher Anderson, left circle. He throws that one across. Junker coming down from the right point, got a stick on it. Jackets able to clear it away from trouble. Kagawa battling for it. He has it taken away from him. Puck pops in the air, knocked out of the air. Francois takes it now for the Jackets, and he'll play it up the left side. It's going to come all the way down into Stevens Point territory. Junker giving chase. Kagawa all over him right now. Junker's going to escape away from trouble. He'll throw it up to German on the left wing. Now for Shimolevsky. He dumps it in. That took a wicked hop off the boards. Boschert was coming out to play the puck, and he had to reach back and deflect that one away from an open net. I can't wait for the new boards to get installed here. On the left wing, this is Riddle. He fans on the pass. Riddle gets it back. Goes down low for Nickerson, left corner. Nickerson for the Jackets, throws it back deep. Comes behind the net. Peyton Hart, the only one there for the Pointers, and he'll pass it over to the left wing side. Pointers come out of the zone. Tyler German up the left wing. Across the line. He falls down. Had Nickerson beat, but he fell down, and the Jackets able to recover the puck and get it to the line, but not out. Hamady for the Pointers dumps it in. It's going to come back around behind the net. Dvorny with a really strange play as the puck hops away from him, and the Jackets now able to come to center with it here. This is Carson Riddle across the line. Cuts the slot, fires, is deflected wide. Riddle stays with it on the left wing. Mosier ties him up. Jackets play it to the front of the Stevens Point net, but they're going to intercept and come back the other way. Manning at center, his pass out of the reach of Bunting. Comes all the way down. Jackets will recover and start it ahead on the right wing. Ishmael. No idea what he was trying to do with that one, and it comes all the way down, and that's going to be icing.
Just have not been able to connect on passes this entire night.
Oof.
I needed to come up with a longer way to say that
you really
they just
did.
have not been able to connect on any passes tonight.
That wasn't very analytical, Mr. Analyst.
Oh, it's very analytical. It was just really succinct. They haven't passed the puck well.
Ishmael for the Jackets puts it right onto a Pointer stick, gets it back now up the right side. Ishmael across the Stevens Point line. Takes a hit along the wall from Bunting. Loses the handle on the puck. Yarmolnik in there to help out, as is Setter. Setter works it free. Up to Holmes, left point. He holds on to it a sec too long and then throws it wide. Now behind the Stevens Point net, this is Ishmael. He's tied up by Mosier. Yarmolnik comes out with the puck, and then he loses it along the end boards. Behind the Stevens Point net, dug free by Setter. Up top, Danziger right point. Fakes, now shoots it, hits Yarmolnik in front, comes free, a shot. The save is made by Proctor. Jackets are going to have to come out to neutral ice and regroup. Now Manning for Stevens Point. Gets away from Stark. Feeds it ahead for Chirino. His shot from the left circle deflected away. Chirino right corner centers. Roosevelt intercepts that. He'll leave it for Evan Axel. Axel now ahead on the left wing for Dauphiné across the Stevens Point line. Dauphiné loses the handle on the puck, gets it back. Centering pass out front, the shot by Roosevelt. The save is made. The rebound by Stark, and that one gets blocked by the defense. Now up top, left point. Shot tipped in front by Stark, and that one never does get to the net. Engelbert for Stevens Point is going to clear it to neutral. Ryder gets it back. Ryder for the Yellow Jackets throws that one over to the left wing, well out of the reach of both Dauphiné and Roosevelt. And the Pointers will recover now with Steele. Stark plays it deep, but it hops over the stick of Dauphiné. Junker plays that one up the boards. Chirino sidesteps the check of Ryder now and comes into the Yellow Jacket zone. Chirino takes the shot. The save is made by Boschert. Rebound picked up here by Ryder. He'll flip that one out to neutral ice, and it's going to come back down into Stevens Point territory. Now Norris ahead for Anderson across the line. Anderson left circle, back up top. Norris shot tipped in front That ends up over on the right wing boards. Poulias drives it down low. Comes around behind the Yellow Jacket net. Centering attempt is broken up. Norris now for Stevens Point. Passes behind the net for Shimilevsky. He'll play it up top. They fan on that shot and it comes out to neutral ice, but Norris able to recover and he'll dump it back in. Dusty Bergstrom along the end board now behind his net, loses the puck. Pointers come away with it. Tyler German on the right wing. Up top to the right point, Moser walks middle, fires, save made by Boschert. Rebound picked up there, and it's going to be cleared by Colin Pedersen down into Stevens Point territory. Norris plays that one up the wall. Jackets break that one up, but then Kagawa's pass picked off, and it's going to be dumped back down into Yellow Jacket territory. Dvorak had it on the left side. Puck taken from him. Rasmussen gets it back. Rasmussen up the left wing into the Stevens Point zone. Takes a long shot. Gloved by Proctor. He thought about playing it, but then decides to cover up as Carson Riddle was getting in looking for that loose puck. And we'll have a face-off coming up here in Stevens Point territory.
Jackets showing some life here, which is good to see, generating some scoring chances.
Unfortunately, just
can't break through.
They just can't. Face off to the right of Proctor. Rasmussen wins the draw. Holmes walks, fires, glove save Proctor. He'll hold on.
But at the very least, they're building some momentum for tomorrow.
You hope so, yeah. You know, and it's I don't think it's a case of Stevens Point kind of pulling back a little bit because they've still been aggressive on their forechecker and everything. It's just for the first time tonight, the Yellow Jackets are applying the pressure. Manning for Stevens Point behind his net. Throws that one around for Mosier. Jackets break it up on the left boards as Rasmussen intercepts and plays it deep. Now the puck behind the net. Nickerson's got it there. Nickerson up top to the left point. Holmes takes the shot. That one just misses. Riddle comes out of the left wing corner, carries it up to the high slot. Now he leaves it for Danziger. Danziger walks, fires, and the stick save is made by Proctor. Shot taken from the angle by Holmes is broken up in front. And that's going to be cleared and come back down into Yellow Jacket territory where Danziger has it. Danziger now for Holmes. Up the right side. Rasmussen chips it in. Junker's got it for the Pointers. He circles back behind his net. It's going to be carried and played ahead to center. Pointers dump it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Axel now behind his net for Setter. Setter for the Yellow Jackets ahead on the right wing, Yermolnik. And that one will meet the girders here in the rafters, and we're going to get a face-off in the Yellow Jacket zone.
Tried to go for the backhand chip there, and he got every bit of that one. Fired it so hard and so high that it ended up going all the way up into the rafters.
Face-off will be to Boschert's right. 12:26 to go here in the third. 3-0 Pointers. Ahead at center now on the right wing. Center. Nowhere for him to go there. Jackets eventually dump it in. It hasn't refreshed in about 4 minutes. Just at center now, the Jackets break up the play. Yarmolnik sends it ahead for Setter. Setter on the right wing. Sends it deep. Comes back behind the Stevens Point net. Cleared up to the line, but not out. Now it does come to center. Ryder had it, then that was taken away from him. Matthew falls across the Yellow Jacket line. Sharp angle backhand is going to miss wide. Engelbert for Stevens Point plays it deep. Picked up behind the net now by Ryder. Tyler Ryder for the Jackets ahead. Yermolnik tips it to neutral ice. Setter gets it there and he'll dump it in. He'll head off on a change as Eftimovsky gets there first. Feeds Norris on the left wing. Now a turnover. Roosevelt in the slot. Carries left circle. Tried to throw it back in front, and that one doesn't go. And then his drop pass is just overskated by Stark, and it comes back the other way. It is a game of inches, and the inches are working against the Yellow Jackets here tonight. As we pass the 9-minute mark of the third period, and right there, pass ahead for Dauphiné, and his stick disintegrates.
Hit him right in the tape, though.
Looked like a strike anyway. Puck is dumped down into the Yellow Jackets zone. Dvorny ties up with Poulias behind the net. Bergstrom comes out with it here. Gives it to Dvorny. His pass broken up. Poulias gets it back and feeds it ahead for Anderson on the right wing. Jackets break it up. Dauphiné passes ahead. Little interference there, and it's going to be a power play for the Yellow Jackets as they stepped into Reed Stark on his mission to forecheck. And the Jackets are heading to the power play.
Joseph Manning, the freshman, will be the one who gets the gate here. Just trying to slow Stark up a little too much.
9:32 of the third period, the time of the penalty. Fourth power play for the Yellow Jackets, and the power play has to become a factor right now.
Yeah, there are times when you absolutely need it to score, and this would be one of those times. Not sure if I should believe the scoreboard, but it does say that the shots on goal are now even at 21-21, which is somewhat indicative of the Yellow Jackets' push here in the third period. Have had the better of the chances.
I mean, I agree with it. I think it's probably correct.
Okay, good deal.
Time for the power play to come alive here. They win the face-off. Kagawa right circle, takes the shot, it gets blocked. Middle holds it in, gives to Kagawa right circle, down to the right of the net. Ishmael out front, the shot, and he scores! Gavin Rasmussen, power play goal! Jackets on the board. The senior captain gets the puck on the back door. Don't go away quite yet, ladies and gentlemen. Big goal for Gavin Rasmussen.
All starts with a good face-off win. And Jackets go hard to the net, get the puck into the danger area, and finish it off.
Kagawa will get one of the assists. We'll wait on the second one, but a really good break for the Jackets there. And now let's see what we can follow it up with. On the left side, Dauphiné takes the shot.
Scoring for your Yellow Jackets, his third goal of the season, number 13, Gavin Rasmussen. He got an assist from number 23, Chris Ishmael, and number 19, Iki Kawat.
So Ishmael and Kagawa get the assists, and the Jackets are on the board. Now Stark feeds Dauphiné going to the net, and his shot just gets broken up in traffic. In the left wing corner, Dauphiné going after it. He's tied up. Fletcher Anderson has it. He'll play it into the middle where it's going to hop over the stick of Norris. And now the Pointers will jump back on the rush with Norris dumping it in. He'll follow the puck down into the left wing corner. 9.5 to go here, third period. 3-1 Pointers. On the end board behind the net, Stevens Point comes out with it. They send it to the line. Wicked hop is going to get away from Eftimovsky. Now the Jackets with the turnover in the neutral zone. Francois off the left wing. Cuts it to the middle now. Feeds that one across. It got blocked. He wanted Kagawa going to the net. Clearing attempt held in. Holmes on the left side. Sends it down for Pettersson. Behind the net, Kagawa. He's tied up. Pettersson in there battling for it as well. He's been kind of quiet tonight, Colin Pettersson has. Cleared out to neutral ice. Holmes intercepts now, and he carries it back in. Gives to Kagawa on the right board. He loses the puck. Hamady chips it to the middle. Jackets had it for a moment there again, but now Hamady will carry it the other way. He crosses the Yellow Jacket line. Right circle, a shot blocked. Holmes clears it. It bounces past the defender, Junker. Kagawa giving chase, but Junker's going to get there first. Kagawa at the end of the shift. A tad on the tired side. Pointers come back the other way and send it in. Now Bergstrom for the Yellow Jackets flips that one ahead. Broken up by Bunting at center, and he'll dump it back in. Behind the net is Bergstrom here now. Dusty Bergstrom for the Yellow Jackets, over for Dvorny. Frank Dvorny now. That pass intended for Riddle is going to hop over his stick and come all the way down and be an icing call. That's going to be face-off in the Yellow Jacket zone. Wishful thinking by the scorer's table wanting the media timeout, but that can't come when there's icing.
Stevens Point coming with a heavy forecheck there. It was a 2-3, and the two were very aggressive and just bottled UWS up with enough pressure that they weren't able to connect on a on-target pass to break out of the zone.
7:59 to play in the third. 3-1 Pointers face off to Boschert's right. Hops out to the neutral zone where O'Brien takes it here now, and Owen Dean went to dump it in. It's knocked down. Rasmussen over to the left side for Nickerson. Back down low for Gavin Rasmussen. He was tied up. Pointers get it back. They go to clear. It gets past Riddle. Or check that. It did not. It got knocked down. Maybe hit the referee. At any rate, it's back behind the Stevens Point goal. Engelbert's got it there. They'll move it ahead to center. Jackets break it up. Axel went to dump it in. Engelbert knocked it down. Chirino had it. He lost it. Ishmael had it. Then he lost it. Now Manning's got it here for Stevens Point. He'll play that one ahead to center. Jackets break it up. Go to dump that one in, but it's not going to go. At the Yellow Jacket blue line, Axel gives it in the middle here now for Ryder. Over to the right wing. Passes behind Ishmael. He stays with it, gets upended. Ishmael gets it back. Ishmael carries it up to the line, gives it to Danziger. Danziger gets away from one man. Danziger throws that one across. Puck hops loose into the left circle. Now up to the point. Ryder holds the zone. Pointers try to clear. Danziger able to hold the zone. Now it does come to neutral ice. Setter saw that check coming at the last minute, but it buckled him, and he's hurt heading off the ice. Jackets dump it back in. Dauphiné tried to get control on the left side, but the Pointers will settle it down. They clear it ahead to center. Danziger breaks that one up. Now Poulias on the left wing. Played it toward the net. Boschert kicks that one away. In the right wing corner. Pass it centered out front. Shimoleski, a shot, and the save made by Boschert. He'll hold on. Face-off coming in the Yellow Jacket zone. 6:11 to go here in this third period. 3-1, Stevens Point has the lead. If you're a Yellow Jacket fan looking for great team gear, visit our official Yellow Jacket sideline store and browse all the current styles of Yellow Jacket apparel and accessories, including the same gear the Yellow Jackets wear. Find the sideline store at uwsyellowjackets.com/shop.
One thing that makes the Yellow Jackets extra threatening in this situation is, given the score and the time remaining in the game, they can really forego defensive responsibility at this point.
Yeah.
You know, now is the time where the defensemen can pinch on pucks in the attacking zone without any hesitation. This is like the time that you've got to go for it. So it almost makes it a little easier as the team that's trying to come back here. You don't have to hesitate. You don't have to think about defensive responsibility. I mean, you can't be completely insane and just sell out on it, but it's getting close to that point now where you can just really be extra aggressive and not have to think twice about whether to pinch or whether to push it on the offensive side.
Yeah, you're at the point in the night where taking chances is paramount here, so that's what the Yellow Jackets are going to be having to do, is take some chances here, and they find a way to claw back even closer. They win the faceoff. It's cleared up to the line. Roosevelt got it out. Pointers played it right back in. Oh, hand pass is the call. That's going to bring the faceoff all the way back down in Pointer territory.
It's a good break for the Jackets.
It is a good break. From D-zone faceoff to O-zone faceoff now with your top lines on the ice for both clubs. Face-off to Proctor's left. Dauphiné will take the draw against Poulias. Controlled by the Yellow Jackets, but it gets past Bergstrom. Shimolevsky pressuring him. Now Josh German has it, but Shimolevsky couldn't get back on side. And we're going to get a face-off outside the Yellow Jacket blue line here.
Bergstrom did a nice job making sure that his player had no chance to get back on side there, but was subtle enough about it that he did not take a penalty.
.5:57 to go. Still plenty of time here for the Jackets. Eftimovsky dumps it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Chased down here by Bergstrom. He tried to clear. It's not going to leave the zone. It gets wrapped back around. Eftimovsky right point sends it deep. Loose puck behind the Yellow Jacket net. Centering attempt blocked at the side of the net by Boschert. Kagawa tried to clear it. Doesn't come out. Now the Pointers will take it back to center and regroup. Norris has it there, and he dumps it in. Right wing corner. Devornay colliding there with Hamady. They both go down. The puck behind the net now. Tyler German for the Pointers. Up to the left point for Norris. Pedersen gets a stick on it and pokes it past him, and it comes down into the Stevens Point zone. Kagawa on the right wing side. Gives it to Pedersen. Walks in, fires, and the save is made by Proctor. He'll hold on to it, as Pedersen got hauled down in the process of shooting and ends up sliding through goaltender Proctor.
Not quite sure how Kagawa got that puck to Pedersen, but it happened, and it was beautiful.
Yes, a beautiful game we have here.
Particularly at the end of a shift, too. They really had to battle for that one. They had to defend a long time before they finally got to break it out.
Shot taken from the right point by Axel, gets deflected twice and then cleared to the right wing corner. Nickerson and Mosier battle for the puck there along the boards. Riddle in there as well as we pass the 15-minute mark of the third period. 3-1 Pointers. Referee is telling him to move it. He sees it. Love the mics that we have on the boards down there. Now Ryder left point. Spins away from a check up top for Axel. Fires, and that one catches traffic in front. Riddle comes off the right wing board with it into the high slot. Takes a shot blocked. He was able to hold the zone for a moment, but now Bunting will carry it back the other way. He's going to get dumped into the Yellow Jackets zone, chasing it down Axel. He turns it over behind the net to Bunting. There's those two hard forecheckers you were talking about. They each took one side of the net. There was nowhere for Axel to go there. And now the Jackets will have to pitchfork that over the glass and out of play.
Tyler Ryder showing a little Bobby Orr flair with the spinorama just inside the blue line in the attacking zone. Almost created a great chance there. They had Proctor lean on the wrong way, but like you said, the shot just hit traffic.
And a lot of credit to the Pointers for the amount of blocked shots tonight. I'd like to see the live stats and know how many there are, but they've blocked a ton of shots. Chirino behind the net. From the right circle, his shot gets blocked. Another attempt catches traffic in front. And Nickerson comes back the other way. He sends it into the Stevens Point zone where Junker's got it. He'll give it to Dean. Now over to the right side. German to the left side for Engelbert, a long shot, and the save is made by Boschert. Ishmael throws it right up the slot, picked off by Norris. He feeds it down low for Chirino. That one gets blocked. Jackets have numbers going back the other way. Riddle up the left wing, gets to the circle and fires high and wide. Penalty coming. They're going to get Logan Nickerson for running the goaltender here.
But the goaltender was standing 6 feet out of the crease.
And that's kind of his argument here, is what's he supposed to do when the goalie's out at the hash marks.
Wow.
But he's not going to win that argument.
And I know the officials will say he made no attempt to avoid the collision, and that's the protection that the goalies are always afforded. But as you said, really a tough situation there with the goalie that far out of his home.
Well, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Because when they're that far out, you don't know which way they're going to go necessarily.
Right.
I'm not excusing making contact with the goaltender there, but
right.
You know, it's like he's that far out. What do you expect him to do? So with only 3:34 left, Jackets go shorthanded on the goalie interference penalty. Fourth power play here for Stevens Point. They're 1 for 3. Shot from the circle is going to miss wide and come all the way back down. Jackets are going to have to get aggressive on this PK. They need to find a way to put one on the board here while shorthanded. Shot blocked in front. Jackets now play it up to Pedersen, but he can't clear the zone. Pooley has a quick one from the left circle, and the save is made. Boschert got it with the glove with Peyton Hart on the doorstep. And we'll get a face-off coming up here in Yellow Jacket territory. 3:04 to play in the third. Stevens Point leads 3-1. It's been a good third period for the Yellow Jackets tonight.
Yeah, Jackets have won this period so far.
Chirino at the blue line leaves it for Fletcher Anderson. Now down low, Poulias. Same play we saw in the second period power play. Chirino from the right circle has that one go wide. Anderson from the line of shots. Save made, Boschert. Peyton Hart tried to tip that one in front. Doesn't get a stick on that, and it's going to be swallowed up by Boschert. He'll hold on. I'm wondering if it's a live stat issue everywhere because the Eau Claire Stout game hasn't refreshed either. Poulias in the left corner. Left point, Chirino. Back down for Poulias. Behind the net, Shimolevsky. Back over to the left side. Poulias left corner now. Chirino left point. It hops off his stick. It comes back out into the neutral zone. He'll leave it there for Fletcher Anderson. Under a minute left in the penalty to Nickerson. 2.5 to go, third period. Pointers up 2. Anderson throws it toward the front of the net. Jackets are able to block it but can't clear. Shimolevsky now to Chirino in the left circle. Over to the right circle. Anderson had it hop off his stick, but he settles it down. Feeds Hart behind the net now. Back behind the net, Hart. Up top, it's going to get past Quentin Hill and come all the way down. 2 minutes to go here, third period. 3-1 Pointers. Chirino drops that one off. Junker mishandles in the neutral zone. He regains control here. Too many men on the ice coming on Stevens Point. Dead giveaway of Nico Shimolevsky doing Superman style to get into the bench. And that's going to be a penalty on the Pointers.
Unfortunately, only a minute 48 left in this one. Will it be enough time for the Jackets to find 2?
You know, it's a tricky situation here. You've got 15 seconds left you have to kill off. You want to get your goalie out so you have a 6-on-4, but then they can just ice it from anywhere without any kind of penalty or anything there. So, you know, they can. We got too many penalties on the board here, but okay, why not? Jackets controlling the face-off. Ishmael's pass is going to be broken up and tipped out by Quentin Hill. Comes back down into the Yellow Jacket territory. Ishmael out of the box. Nickerson. Jackets on the power play for the 5th time. They are 1 for 4. They must score. Rasmussen in the left circle. Up top for Ishmael. Hill stick handle now. Feeds Axel. Back up top. Rasmussen in the high slot. Takes the shot. It's blocked. Axel now. Gives down low. Holmes tried to force it in from the right side, and Proctor made the save there. Puck is behind the Stevens Point net. Boschert still in the goal. Comes around now to the right wing side. Up top, Rasmussen takes the shot, tipped in front. That's going to miss wide. Now along the end boards. Under a minute to play here now. Boschert still in the net. Comes back up top, right point. Axel in the middle. Ryder. Down low, Rasmussen left of the net. Back up top for Tyler Ryder. He walks it, gives it to Rasmussen. Stick handles, fires, it's blocked. Now up top, left point, Ryder. Nifty move, gets away, fires, it's blocked. And the Pointers are going to clear that all the way down. Boy, I'm a broken record right now. Fires, it's blocked. Puck is played ahead. Norris intercepts at neutral, and he'll send it back in. Final seconds are ticking away here, and the Yellow Jackets are going to taste defeat for the first time since November. And are going to lose control of the WIAC in the process as the final seconds are going to go away here. Axel behind his net. Carries it ahead to center. And it's for all the marbles tomorrow night. Yellow Jackets, who with a victory here this evening, could have secured the WIAC regular season championship and could have secured the number 1 seed in the postseason. Instead, it's all on the table tomorrow now as they fall to defeat here 3-1. And it's as simple as this. You win, you're the number 1. You lose, you're the number 2. And that could be the same thing said for both teams.
Yeah, they have a situation that is ideal. Home ice, just have to win a game, no problem, right? And they started off by winning this period. Hopefully they can build on that tomorrow night.
Final score here tonight from Westman Arena. Stevens Point wins it 3-1. We'll take a timeout and come back with the postgame show, sponsored by Synovus Energy right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Network. Arena. It's the post-game show sponsored by Synovus Energy. And for the first time since November, Jason, 11 weeks, Yellow Jackets drop one. I don't turn your mic on.
There we go. That's better. That's remarkable. It's just
I don't even know what to do.
To think about that, it's just such an impressive streak and definitely deserves a salute. I mean, it came crashing down tonight, but that was a fantastic run of hockey. That was really something special.
Yeah, they were unbeaten in 15. 14-1-1 in their last 16. Still nothing to sneeze at. But unbeaten in 15, that's the third longest streak in program history. It's tied for the third longest streak. So all in all, tip of the cap, great run. Let's not make it a losing streak.
Yeah, let's start a new one tomorrow night.
Because the Jackets haven't lost back-to-back games all year.
Right.
So now let's make sure it doesn't happen again. But you've got some work to do heading into this one tomorrow night. You won the third, like you said, but your first two periods you didn't quite have enough.
Right, so definitely something to build on, winning that third period tonight. Some positive vibes coming out of that, but definitely some room to improve, and certainly will be some plays on the defensive end that they'll want to talk about and review and make sure it's corrected by tomorrow.
Because I thought they did a really good job second period on, of kind of securing things a little bit defensively, but that first period just uncharacteristic. That was the word.
Right, and credit to Boschert as well for coming in and settling things down. I mean, gave up the one goal on the power play, but that was a perfect shot.
No goalie's stopping that one.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, he did what he needed, what the team needed him to do as well, coming in relief and, settling things down and being the backstop they needed, and that helped right the ship as well.
We've got Yellow Jacket assistant coach Brian Meisner, who has kindly come up to the booth here, and Mouse, I don't know how to react. It's been a while.
I know, right? It's a weird feeling.
It's a
good one for sure.
That was one heck of a winning streak, though, unbeaten streak. Yeah. I mean, what an incredible run. Have you ever been on a run like that with a team?
Well, maybe not 15. No, you're right. No. So yeah, it's been incredible. You don't think about it, it goes so fast, and then all of a sudden here we are. And, unfortunately we didn't have it tonight, but it is what it is.
Right.
We were talking a little bit in the first, Mouse. It's some uncharacteristic defensive plays from your team in the first period. And I think about the first goal where nobody in a gold sweater wanted to lay a finger on their guy as he was just dancing around like Dennis Savard in there for you 80s hockey aficionados. And then on the second one, a rarity to see one of your D-men have a guy get inside position on him.
Yeah, we crossed over there. And it's a lot of, like you said, uncharacteristic stuff from us. And unfortunately, I think we're such a great crowd. I wish we could have performed like we have been.
Did it feel like
give them a little credit too, though? They came.
Oh, absolutely. That's a good hockey
team.
And
we hadn't faced that speed, I don't think, all year long.
Right.
So.
That was my question. I was going to ask if it felt like something that Stevens Point did to your defenders as opposed to the defenders just being off tonight. So you kind of talked about it there, that speed. It was something you just haven't seen night in and night out, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they come with a lot of speed, and they were doing, I think Paul said, Bitsy, he said, they were doing everything they could to win. I mean, they were prepared to win. And so they were blocking shots like I've never seen them block shots before. They were flying. They were strong on their sticks. We were doing things that, like you said, were so I don't know if their speed was as big of a factor as our hesitancy. We were hesitant a lot until the third period where we got moving a little bit, and but it was too late. So, but yeah, it's hard for us to put a finger on. Obviously, we could have changed it right away. We would have, but we didn't. So,
I thought it was kind of one of the only times, if not the first time this year, where it seemed like you guys were struggling on the boards. You've been so good in your board battles all season long, and then tonight Stevens Point seemed to have an answer for that, and they were equally as tough on the wall.
Yeah, and they moved the puck a lot quicker than us. But that's been our MO. I think we've been so good at getting the puck north and moving our feet and taking away the middle, like you said, and grinding down low. We didn't grind down low, and that is the MO of our team, And so to not have that tonight is one of our weapons taken away from us. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, that's probably one of our most important weapons too, right? So, yeah, it leads to no goals, still third, right?
Right. Well, at least winning the third gives something to build on for tomorrow night, right? And I imagine that's got to be the message. What we saw in the third, that's closer to us. Now let's bring that tomorrow, right?
I hope so. I mean, obviously we're very disappointed, and we don't take any. What's it called? What are those things called? No
moral victories.
Yeah, moral victories. Yeah, we don't take moral victories. And I'm glad the guys are not happy, and none of us are happy. So, but yeah, we talked about before the third. I mean, what are we going to do? Well, are we going to lay the groundwork for tomorrow night, or are we just going to give up? Right. So I don't think we gave up.
No,
we laid the groundwork, and so we'll see.
So now, what does it look like heading into tomorrow? Because for you guys, same position you were in coming into the game tonight. You win and you're the number one. You knew that, so. Yeah. You had a little bit of a buffer.
Yep.
They did not. You had a little bit of a buffer. Now that buffer's gone. Yeah. It's winner takes it all.
I hope it's a sign for our guys to just understand that play to win. Again, we talked about this early in the season. Don't play not to lose. Play to win. And we've been playing to win for 15 games, right? We've been doing that. And then tonight we were like, whoa, let's not. Teddy, you want to take over?
I forgot that I had that on behind me, so you've been watching my back the whole time here.
I'd much rather have you on the bench tonight, Teddy, than me. So, no, but I think tonight we played a little hesitant, like we're played not to lose. Let's just protect this, protect that, instead of take the game from them. And they took it to us. I mean, they took their game, and our game didn't counter. We didn't counter quick enough, and so.
Well, I'm excited, though, because you saw the results of it tonight, and all the players saw the results of it tonight. So tomorrow night, it's like, okay, tonight's our night. We got to go take it. It'll be a simple message in that sense.
100%. And, the big crowd, all that stuff, the guys just really wanted to win. They wanted to play well so bad. And sometimes when you do that, you kind of lay an egg like we did there. But I shouldn't say lay an egg, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right? We weren't ourselves.
Right. Well, fire up your best Herb Brooks speech for tomorrow, and away we go.
All right, I'll see you, boys.
Thanks a lot, most appreciate it.
Thank you. Good night.
Yellow Jacket assistant coach Brian Meiser. Hey, buddy, you got anything you want to say?
I love you, Dad.
Oh,
that's nice.
Thanks, buddy. I love you, too.
Yes. Right on.
Well, that just made my day.
Right on.
Hockey doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, that right there matters.
That was good.
At any rate, 3-1, the Yellow Jackets fall to UW Stevens Point tonight. Tell you, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more of the post-game show right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Network. We're back here at Westman Arena as the postgame show sponsored by Synovus Energy. And for the first time since November, it comes on the heels of a loss. A 3-1 loss to UW Stevens Point tonight, setting up a showdown for the championship tomorrow. As we know, these two teams will be seeds 1 and 2. It's just a matter of who's going to be the 1 and who's going to be the 2. And if the Yellow Jackets can put together 3 periods like they did in the third period here tonight, I'm confident saying they'll be the 1.
Right, yeah. Third period was definitely a step in the right direction for the Yellow Jackets tonight, and hopefully they can come out with that same kind of aggressiveness and confidence in their play right from the start tomorrow and get that one win they need to secure the conference title.
Here's a couple of interesting nuggets because we all know I have a brain full of useless knowledge, Jason. This game tonight.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you don't want to take this guy on an immaculate grid. It's not good. Don't do it.
Still amazed by that Dwight Lowry pick, weren't you?
Yeah.
But tonight's game is the first time all season the Yellow Jackets lost on Friday.
Wow.
They're now 9-1-1 on Fridays. Tonight's game is the first time all season they did not play tied or with a lead in the third period.
Wow.
They've always been even or ahead in the third period. This is the first time all season.
Wow.
And that is a remarkable statistic to me.
It is.
That somehow through 23 games they were tied or had the lead in every single one of them. And out of those 23, 22 of them, or 21 of them, they had a lead.
Wow.
So this is a team that's been able to play downhill, play from in front, and not have to chase the game that much. And this is the first time in a long time they've had to chase the game.
I will be shocked if UWS doesn't come out tomorrow and play.
They should be flying.
A great game.
They should be flying.
And, work ethic tonight was not the problem necessarily.
No.
And
it was just everything else.
Tomorrow, I expect a great effort again out of UWS. I expect them to play a great game. The only thing we'll have to keep in mind is the fact that regardless of how well UWS plays, their opponent's a good team too.
Yes. No, hands down, you're playing one of the best teams in the country here. So let's jump into the postgame summary. As the Yellow Jackets came out and had a dynamite first 1.5 shifts. And then Stevens Point kind of weathered the mini storm, if you will. And then they were able to kind of take control of things a little bit there, and they got that all-important first goal. I mean, the Jackets are 12-2-1 on the year when they score first. So the first goal is always very, very important. And tonight they kind of gave them that first goal with some porous defensive play.
Yeah, it just wasn't a good look. They were on their heels. You never want to see a guy basically dangle through half your team, and that's pretty much what happened on that play. And a tough way to give up a goal. And again, tonight, talking about the great crowd and everything that was here. UWS scores first, gets the crowd into it. The players all of a sudden feel confidence instead of pressure, and things could have been totally different. But as it was, Stevens Point scored that first goal, and it was an uphill battle from there.
Yeah, it was Fletcher Anderson scoring his 10th as he weaved through traffic and got himself into a nice opening about the hash marks and beats Kobe Grant high on the glove side. That was at 9:20. It made it 1-0. Anderson adding another goal at 18:47 of the first period, his second of the game and 11th of the year. As Coach Meisner said, kind of spinning that defenseman around and getting that inside position to bang one past Kobe Grant.
Yeah, that was a heck of a first period for Fletcher Anderson.
So 2 goals for him. Pointers up 2-0 after 1. Jackets outshot in that period 12-7. Pointers had the first 8 shots on net of the hockey game before the Yellow Jackets were able to finally start putting some pucks on net midway through that period. Jackets make a goaltending change after 1. I kind of wondered in that final minute, because I had mentioned to you that Kobe was fighting the puck a little bit. It seemed like he was having a hard time with it, so were they going to make the change? And they did bring in Jack Boschert, and he was good.
Yeah, he was solid. He gave them exactly what they needed. He essentially closed the door, did allow the 1 goal, but there was nothing that anybody was going to do about that. Other than that 1 goal, he was solid, settled things down, made all the saves you would have expected him to make.
Yeah, that goal coming on a power play at 10:05. Andrew Poulias, it was a 4-on-3 power play, his 12th of the season. Fletcher Anderson, Nico Shimoleski got the assist to make it 3-0, and that was a real backbreaker, because Coach McKenna even talked about the race to 3, and that was a real backbreaker there.
Yeah, and it allows a team to just play differently when they're looking at having a 3-goal lead midway through the second period. I mean,
right.
It puts them in a really favorable position to be able to play a really simple game on the road and take care of business.
And the Yellow Jackets, meanwhile, forced to play differently as well.
Right.
Because you eventually have to start taking those chances that they were talking about. That was going to be it for the Pointers that period. 3-0, they had the lead at that point. In the second period, each team had 7 shots on goal. Stevens Point, 2-period total of 19. The Yellow Jackets, 2-period total of 14. Then in the third period, the Yellow Jackets finally find a way to break through the power play goal of their own. And I think the biggest key to this, they won the faceoff. And so often with this team, they're going on a power play. They don't win the faceoff, and then they got to go 200 feet. This time they finally won the draw.
Right, absolutely. So they won the draw, got right on the attack immediately, and looked really confident. Looked like they knew exactly what they wanted to do. Iki Kagawa took the puck down low, put the puck into a key scoring area out front, and Gavin Rasmussen was there to blast it in.
Third of the season for Rasmussen. Kagawa and Chris Ishmael got the assists at 9:42 of the third period. It was 3-1 at that point. Yellow Jackets had some opportunities after that too, but it just the hill was too big to climb.
Yeah, just needed one more, and they could have really put the pressure on. Obviously, that late penalty that they got called for running into the goaltender really kind of took some of the steam out of the comeback chances, because then they had to go back in a defensive mode there at kind of a key last gasp segment of the game.
Shots on goal in the third period, Stevens Point had 7 for a game total of 26, and the Yellow Jackets had 8 for a game total of 22. Penalties in the game, the Yellow Jackets took 4 penalties for 8 minutes. Stevens Point taking 5 for 10. On the power play, the Jackets go 1 for 5. Stevens Point goes 1 for 4. Kobe Grant got the starting goal for the Yellow Jackets tonight. He was yanked after 20 minutes, but he will still be tagged with the loss. His record now drops to 6-2-2 on the season. At the other end, Alex Proctor will improve to 15-4-1 on the year. Stevens Point with that win is now 18-5-1 overall, 10-3-1 in the WIAC. They have 31 points. Yellow Jackets dropped to 18-4-2 overall, 11-2-1 in the conference. They also have 31 points, but Stevens Point, by way of having a tiebreaker, is now your number 1. Yellow Jackets are number 2, and they can rectify that tomorrow. Final score here again tonight, Yellow Jackets falling 3-1. We'll take one more break, come back and wrap it up from Westman Arena right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Network. Here at Westman Arena, final segment of our postgame show sponsored by Synovus Energy, coming after a Yellow Jacket 3-1 loss to UW Stevens Point. Another game going on tonight. UW Stout and UW Eau Claire headed to overtime as the Blue Gold scoring late with the goaltender out. And it's 4-4 there at the Hobbs Ice Arena in Eau Claire. So not really sure what to look at there, but it means everybody gets a point. And that ensures that Eau Claire cannot be caught by UW Stout now. Stout needed to sweep in regulation in order to catch Eau Claire, so that pretty much determines that UW Stout will be locked in as the number 5 in the WIAC when we head into the postseason. So 6 is locked in, 5 looks like it's locked in, and everything else is
up for grabs tomorrow night.
Out there for the world to figure out at some point. 24 hours from now, we'll know.
Unless there's some weird overtime
start the countdown.
Or unless there's a hole in the boards that causes like a 40-minute
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Time now for a post-game show 3-star selection. Who you got?
All right, third star tonight is going to UWS freshman forward Iki Kagawa. He had 1 assist and was probably the most noticeable offensive player in terms of being a threat. A couple of, in earlier segments of the game, the Yellow Jackets, we talked about how they really hadn't generated a whole lot of grade A chances. Typically the ones that they did generate, he was involved in and then ended up getting the assist on the power play.
All right, so Iki Kagawa, the number 3 star. Number 2?
Number 2 star is Stevens Point sophomore forward Nico Shimilevsky. There you go. He had the 2 assists tonight and was part of that really great combination that they had with like you mentioned during the broadcast, their top players, their top line was really all over the score sheet.
Yeah, so he had 2 assists here in the game as well, so he's the number 2, and I don't think I have to ask who the number 1 is.
No, not a surprise here. At Stevens Point, senior forward Fletcher Anderson. He had, of course, the 2 goals to start the game off, and then also added an assist on the 3rd goal, so figured in every Pointers goal tonight and was a huge player in this game.
So the number 3 star, Kikagawa, number 2, Nico Shimilevsky, the number 1 star, is Fletcher Anderson. Sports triple header here tomorrow on 91.3 KUWS. We'll get underway with men's basketball. 3 o'clock tip from the Mertz as the Jackets take on Bethany Lutheran in a battle of 2 of the 3 teams that are tied for the top spot in the UMAC. The Big Sound Matt Johnson will have the call of that one. Pregame show at 2:45. Not long after, it'll be followed by women's basketball against Bethany Lutheran. Yellow Jacket women sitting in first place in the conference, 1 game ahead of Bethany. So big contest for both of the Yellow Jacket basketball teams tomorrow, and then we'll close it out with the season finale, the one for all the marbles, however you want to paint the picture. That's what we're going to be dealing with here tomorrow. Yellow Jackets and Pointers in Game 2 of their weekend series. 7:05 face-off. Pregame show 6:30, or at the end of women's basketball, whichever one of those things comes later. Final thoughts?
I'm excited. Looking forward to a winner-take-all game. And, hey, all you people out there in TV land, let's make sure we set up a couple screens. I know you want to watch USA-Canada on one. Let's make sure we have a second one so you can keep track of what happens in this big finale in the WIAC.
Or if you're local, come.
Yes.
Come to the game.
And watch the USA-Canada game on your phone while you're sitting here
It's
at
going to be a great one. Come to Westman Arena.
Full Metal Jackets are going to be here tomorrow,
Full Metal Jackets will be here as well. Dr. Greg Moore in his final performance with the Full Metal Jackets. He's retiring, so thank you very much, Greg. A job well done as the leader of the Full Metal Jackets. So all that will be going on here tomorrow night at Westman Arena. The Gus Bus back in the studio doing another fine job for us on the air. He is our engineer back at the mothership on KUWS. Bradley Lellis is the guy pushing the buttons up here for Yellow Jacket TV. For the Gus Bus, for Bradley, for Jason Roan, this is John Garver signing off. The final score here again tonight. Stevens Point ends the Yellow Jacket unbeaten streak at 15 as they take the Jackets down by a final of 3-1. Thank you very much for making us a part of your Friday, and please consider tuning us in, even though U.S. is playing Canada, tuning us in tomorrow night here from Westman Arena. Good night from Superior, Wisconsin.
Let's put our stamp on this region. All right, let's do it emphatically.